Buy one, get one free. I go for the chocolate cake with a big scoop of ice cream. Sip on a hand-muddled old-fashioned, bourbon, or over 100 wines in those 8 elegant dining rooms, or check out the patio in the woods. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. As the fall season begins to set in, the drive through the Kettle Moraine is one of the most picturesque in Wisconsin. Brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner tonight. Tables are open. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Calling all queen bees. Are you a woman landowner, farmer, farm worker, urban grower, prairie protector, agricultural consultant, or conservation professional? If so, Wisconsin Farmers Union invites you to participate in their collaborative effort called Wisconsin Women in Conservation. The goal of this project is to get women owners and growers the knowledge, resources, networks, and support to make their land stewardship dreams come true. Join in via webinars, farm tour field days, learning circle events, and potlucks in your region. If you've been wanting to learn about cover crops, pollinator habitat, season extending high tunnels, managed grazing, soil health, or raised beds in your community garden, this is a group for you. Find out more and subscribe to the Buzz newsletter and the Queen Bees Session podcast at wiwic.org. Follow Wisconsin Women in Conservation on Instagram and Facebook. Come join our girl gang at Wisconsin Women in Conservation.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Let's see who the Brewers are playing today. It's the Mets.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Vientos K. Nimmo K. Alonso K.
Our coverage of Game 1 of the Wild Card Series starts today at 3:55. Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, October 1st. Our top story. Another Super Tuesday right here in Wisconsin.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Dock workers hit the picket line.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and on 94 southbound, just south of Layton, we've got the outer lanes blocked because of a crash. That means just the center lane letting you through, so it's starting to tighten up coming out of the Mitchell interchange. Rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Partly cloudy skies, breezy, and considerably cooler. Today's high just 67 degrees. Few clouds and chilly overnight. Lakeside low will dip down to 47. Might touch the upper 30s away from Lake Michigan. 66 your temperature now in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin. Busy day ahead of the race for president right here in Wisconsin.
Former President Donald Trump is back in the state just days after his campaign stop in Prairie du Chien. He'll speak at Dane Manufacturing in Waunakee this afternoon around 1:30 before heading to Milwaukee for a speech at Discovery World starting at 5. Also in Milwaukee this evening is 2nd Gentleman Doug Emhoff, who's expected to speak at 4:05 at an unknown location. It all leads to the first and potentially only VP debate on CBS tonight, pitting Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio against Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled last week that RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy, would remain on the ballot in Wisconsin. Will that come to play on Election Day? Well, the director of the Marquette University Law School poll, Charles Franklin, on WTMJ.
I'm on the side that believes it'll have a fairly minimal impact to have him on. We've seen all year long that he draws a few more votes from Republicans than he does from Democrats. And that's the reason why Republicans in the Trump campaign would like him off the ballot.
We do have a new MU Law School poll coming out tomorrow with new details.
Hurricane Helene, now officially one of the worst storms in U.S. history. The death toll, 130 people over 6 states. President Biden reporting 600 are unaccounted for at the moment, currently unreachable as cell service and power outages drag on. The president was on a call Monday night with federal officials in North Carolina's governor to discuss aid. Also responded to former President Trump's allegations that the White House has not answered calls from the governor of Georgia.
I've spoken to the governor, spending time with him, and he told me he's lying. I don't know why he does this. And the reason I get so angry about it, I don't care about what he says about me, but I care what he communicates to the people that are in need. He implies that we're not doing everything possible.
Government officials and aid groups are delivering basic supplies by air, truck, and even mule. The president plans to travel to North Carolina today for a briefing in Raleigh and then an aerial tour of Asheville. He says he does not want to disrupt relief efforts on the ground.
No contract, no
Despite progress reported in talks between the International Longshoremen's Association and the owners of the nation's seaports, the ILA now officially on strike this morning.
From Boston to Houston, the people who load and unload cargo ships and cruise liners are walking picket lines. For consumers,
our export items are going to build up an inventory. The prices of these goods likely going to come down.
On the other side of the equation, says University of Miami economist David Andelfato,
in terms of our imports, prices are going to go up.
J.P. Morgan estimates the strike could cost the economy $4.5 billion a day. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Police still searching for a vehicle that was involved in a deadly crash on I-94 Monday evening.
The all-lane closure of 94 westbound started at the scene of the crash near Moreland Road in Waukesha County, but quickly extended all the way to the Zoo interchange. The DOT says a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee struck the median wall, lost control, and crossed all lanes of traffic, then striking the concrete barrier on the right shoulder. All three occupants of the vehicle were transported to the hospital. 93-year-old Mary Phyllis of Colgate died of her injuries. The driver, 57-year-old Elizabeth Phyllis, and 70-year-old Deborah Godis, also from Colgate, are expected to be all right. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Are you ready, Brewers fans? The postseason begins this afternoon against the New York Mets. The Crew enter the postseason, the youngest team vying for a World Series.
But they aren't void of World Series experience, namely Willie Adames and Rhys Hoskins.
Rhys opened up to the team a little bit a few days ago and talked about the postseason and talked about what it was like. And I wouldn't be surprised if he shows out a little bit.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy.
Yeah, I can't say enough about what Willie means to our club. He's special. You know, taking on Churio and even Contreras to some extent and help them along in their adjustment to a new team and new bunch of guys.
From American Family Field, Greg Matzik, WTMJ Sports.
Much more throughout the day today right here on WTMJ. 4:32 first pitch right here on the radio.
Pete Rose, known as Major League Baseball's hit king, who was also later banned for betting on games, has died. Pete Rose was 83 years old.
Coming up, an unwelcome rise in a teenage malady.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
When it comes to remodeling, everyone has advice about who you should hire. But who can you trust? Your boss? Neighbors? Random online reviews? No. When it comes to remodeling, you can trust NARI. All NARI members are experienced, proven, qualified, and verified by local people who know the industry and have your back. Join us for the NARI Home and Remodeling Show, October 18th through 20th at State Fair Park. Get tickets and info at narimilwaukee.org.
Between market volatility, inflation, global unrest, and the presidential election, there's a lot going on. Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Have a plan built that matches up with your investment and retirement goals. Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. It's time to put things in order. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. AnnexWealth.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Dave from Feldco. Did drafty windows make last winter frigid? Listen, Feldco's here to make things easier for you. It's the perfect time of year to replace those old windows. Right now, get 50% off windows plus no interest for 1 year. You heard that right, 50% off plus no interest for 1 year. Visit us at 4feldco.com or give us a call at 866-4FELDCO.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:08.
Brewers' playoff opponent, again, the playoffs begin tonight, has to be gassed. Think about that. The Mets played 2 ball games in Atlanta yesterday.
Yeah.
So they come into Milwaukee.
Adrenaline.
We'll preview the matchup coming up in sports at 6:15.
We'll see how far that adrenaline can take them. An air of skepticism at the first of this week's MPS town hall meetings concerning the district's recently released long-range facilities plan that would include the closure of some schools. Alderwoman Charlene Moore telling TMJ4 News.
We know that there's some things that need to happen, but the administration first needs to share with us where things are financially.
The MPS plan also includes options for schools such as mergers and building additions. It doesn't list which schools would be considered for each.
The security guard who accidentally shot himself at a Wisconsin Lutheran high school football game on Friday will face charges. Milwaukee police say the 63-year-old guard, who was not on duty at the time, is facing charges of carrying a concealed weapon and endangering safety by use of a dangerous weapon. A spokesperson telling TMJ4 News from Wisconsin Lutheran the guard did not have permission from the school to bring the weapon onto grounds and is not affiliated with the school.
British scientists are confirming what a whole lot of American teenagers and young adults are already seeing in the mirrors. Acne is on the rise.
The British Journal of Dermatology study finds the number of children and young people experiencing acne has been on the rise since the 1990s. The USA is among the countries reporting the highest number of cases alongside India, China, Nigeria, and Indonesia. The increase may be linked to lifestyle factors, including diet, stress, and obesity, to wider exposure to air pollution, or simply because more sufferers are coming forward for help. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
I wonder if it has anything to do, too, with these kids super young doing all the makeup and all that.
Yeah,
how old did I just sound? But I mean, I just mean like it's a TikTok trend. You see them all doing this.
So you think that sparks it?
I don't know.
Inflames it?
Right. Could.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Coming up, we'll preview the very busy day here in Wisconsin on the campaign and look ahead to the VP debate tonight. That's next.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Erik Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Erik can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Erik this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix-It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Checking in with Debbie here at 11 minutes after 6.
All right, southbound 94, right about at just before Grange, we have an accident. All right, here's what we got. We got the two left lanes blocked and the far right lane blocked. So really, everything is bottlenecked all the way down to one lane to get through this accident scene. Once you get past it, you should be okay to go. But the problem is it's backing things up into the Mitchell interchange altogether. So just be extra careful. Give yourself plenty of extra time to get through that. Rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. We're not seeing any other delays or anything like that. So at least we got that going for us. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. We had a cold front move through last night. Now this morning, cooler temperatures and breezy winds developing out of the northwest. Highs today will stay in the 60s. Tonight, a few clouds, chilly temperatures falling into the 40s near the lake. We're looking upper 30s further inland. Wednesday will start off chilly, but then warm up into the lower 70s with plenty of sunshine. Thursday, mid-70s with mostly sunny skies. Friday, another cold front moves through, bringing the small chance for an isolated rain shower during the morning. Then Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high temperatures in the lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 66 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Tonight is the night. There will only be one. Mano y mano facing off.
They're both going to survive.
Governor Walz, there it is, thank you, versus Senator Vance at tonight's vice presidential debate.
The two candidates will face off in a studio on the west side of Manhattan that was once home to Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, yes.
That's a nice little nugget there.
Of course.
Okay.
But this isn't Vince, Mr. Pennywhistle debating Mr. Green Jeans, or Mr. Moose going up against Town Clown.
I come here today to ask you to vote for me, Mr. Moose.
No, this is J.D. Vance, a first-term senator, author, and Yale-educated lawyer, and Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, six-term congressman, and former high school football coach. Mano y mano. Now, like the presidential debate, there will be no audience in the studio. Unlike those debates, though, the mics will always be hot, although they do say they'll be muted if necessary. So the network, CBS, can mute if they need to if things get a little out of hand.
Somebody just won't stop. What will that take?
One of the big questions, though, fact-checking. CBS says, nope, it's on them to fact-check each other. And this is a tough one. I don't know what the best answer is for this. I would argue what ABC did during the other debate between Harris and former President Trump actually would be the better way to go moving forward, but it's so hard to be able to do that without setting an unprecedented slippery slope of doing one side and not the other, and then you run into issues which were accused in the ABC one.
And you have to instantly know.
And it's really difficult to do.
Right, what the facts are.
Yes.
And sometimes they're couched as the candidates present them and things like that. So in order to be fair, you have to instantly know who's 100% true. And sometimes you don't until you go do your research.
So instead, CBS
I'm fine
says,
with it like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate that we just have to put our trust in two candidates who we both know are not going to say all the truth.
Well, then, again, let them call each other on it.
So will this debate matter?
I think if someone is truly disastrous, it could matter.
Okay, well, define disastrous. ABC's Mary Bruce.
I mean, these are long-standing seasoned politicians. I don't think one of these guys is going to fall apart. But if someone says something truly offensive, truly outlandish, truly memorable, I think that could make a difference.
All right, so that's Mary Bruce there. We'll be in baseball coverage, so we aren't airing the debate tonight, but you can hear it on 101.7 The Truth starting at 8 o'clock. Meanwhile, hours before the debate, former President Donald Trump will be in Milwaukee. The former president expected to speak at Discovery World around 5. So heads up, if you work downtown, you can expect some road closures in and around the lakefront area around that time. The president also in Waunakee in Dane County area earlier this afternoon. And Doug Emhoff will be here, the second gentleman, as well. This, of course, all happening as the Brewers are kicking off their playoff run at 4:32 at MAM Field.
So you would assume that the stadium traffic is in place already with first pitch at 4:32, a lot of tailgating
tight
and things like that. So you wouldn't have the motorcade colliding with that group.
Correct.
Hopefully. Inviting you to participate in the WTMJ Fall 2024 Fan Survey. It takes only about 10 minutes. And to participate, you just text the word survey to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. We'll send a survey link back to you to thank you for participating. You'll be entered to win a pair of Bucks tickets for the upcoming regular season and an overnight stay at the Pfister.
If you elect me as President of the United States, every American will have antlers.
Mr. Moose.
Even the uncles of the whole United States.
Mr. Moose.
Think. We'll all live in the forest.
Mr. Moose.
And all of our friends will be bunny rabbits.
Mr. Moose.
Eager to remodel your kitchen, bath, or rec room? This is Rob Adair, and we're ready with a personal redesign for you. Adair Floors and Remodeling in Franklin. Give us a call and get personal care from Adair. 761-3660. AdairFloors.com.
Happy October! Hall's Drive Out Cancer event is going on right now. Hi, everybody. Debbie Lazaga here for Hall, Volkswagen, and Mazda. Hall has teamed up with This Time Tomorrow Foundation for the past 10 years. This Time Tomorrow Foundation is a local charity that raises money for individuals and families fighting all forms of cancer. So, here's how it works. If you purchase a new 2024 Volkswagen vehicle during the event, Hall Volkswagen will donate to the foundation in your honor. So all you got to do is go to hallcars.com to find out more information and help out the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. It's Hall's Drive Out Cancer event, and it's Hall good.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Are you ready? And then came the New York Mets.
And the ball game is over. From 0-5 to OMG. What a ride. The Mets are going to the postseason in 2024.
The call on Sportsnet New York as the Mets clinch a trip to the playoffs, beating the Braves in Game 1 of their doubleheader. It was a great game. Back and forth, that first one. They lost the second game, which sends the Braves to San Diego and New York right back to Brew City.
The Brewers and Mets prepare to meet for a third time, this time in the postseason, as the Brewers get ready to host New York starting today at 4:32. One of the pieces of success for the Brewers, going 5-1 in the regular season against New York, was stealing bases, going 17 for 17. Overall, the Brewers had the second most steals in baseball. Rhys Hoskins knows just how valuable that could be.
We just make teams uncomfortable. We're on the base pass, gaining confidence, stealing bases, pushing the envelope a little bit. That just helps the confidence, I think, of the rest of the team. Just continuing to push that chaos, I think, is definitely something that we can leverage into helping us win some games here.
Willie Adames knows it can turn in a moment's notice from anyone.
You can't be surprised, even like Rhys could go, at some point, you never know. And I think that's why we were so good during the whole season, because we were just aggressive.
From American Family Field, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Again, 4:32 first pitch tonight. Had an audience with Brewers owner Mark Attanasio Monday.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
A few of us invited to talk with him. Spent about 45 minutes with us at American Family Field. And when you think of where we were a year ago after the playoffs, manager Craig Counsell, hometown guy, spurns an offer to return, instead showing up at the Cubs, where the Northsiders finished a full 10 games behind the Brewers in the division. I asked Attanasio. I gave him I told you I was going to do it.
Yep, you did.
You just mentioned losing Craig. I would invite you to please gloat a little bit about how this turned out for Chicago and for us.
I think my superstition does not permit me to gloat. Look, I'm mindful. I looked at some of our metrics this year. The league now has a balanced schedule. You play outside, every team outside the league. And on every metric this year we succeeded. Home and away, we're over 500. Teams out of league were over 500. Playing teams better than 500. I think we were second or third best in baseball, over 500.
Oh, he's pivoting. That's a non-answer.
Right, man. No doubt this takes the sting out of all that, even if your owner doesn't want to crow about it.
Voting is not part of my makeup.
All right.
Okay, fine. Asked and answered.
Baseball great Pete Rose, dead at the age of 83. Dikembe Mutombo, NBA superstar, passes away of brain cancer at the age of 58. Monday Night Football, the Lions beat up on the Seahawks. The Titans beat up on the Dolphins.
This week in Los Angeles, brother versus brother. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. His brother Mike is the offensive coordinator for the Rams. Asked if the two would be chatting it up this week.
I blocked his calls. He's out. No, I'm sure I'll talk to him. I mean, it's my brother, man. I'm going to talk to him. But we're not going to talk about ball.
All right.
I blocked his calls.
That would have been awesome.
Packers and Rams in Los Angeles, 3:25 kick on Sunday.
In Milwaukee, it's baseball season, even in the fall.
And Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef for Tailgate Tuesday.
Throughout the Brewers' run in the playoffs, tune into Wisconsin's Afternoon News every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a $150 Vienna Beef gift card.
And a rocket to right, base hit, they win!
Nothing says Brewers playoffs like Vienna Beef.
We're the home of the Brewers.
We are the home of the Brewers.
WTMJ.
Go Brewers!
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. You're going to do it. You're going to pull the trigger on new siding for your house, but you have some concerns like how are you even going to start this process? Who are you going to call? Who are you going to Google on something like this? Well, I got a group for you. Tri-County Contracting. Tri-County Contracting, they've been in the area, Southeast Wisconsin, for more than 40-plus years. Family-owned, family-operated, which is a unicorn nowadays. And you can stop by their New Berlin showroom and see all their options, or you can go to their website. Here's where it is. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. WI.com, I should say. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. It's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Are you ready to start a meaningful career in healthcare? Are you looking for a job that fits your work-life balance? Become a certified direct care professional today and make life better for older adults or people with a disability. WIS Caregiver Careers makes it easy with free online training plus earn a $500 bonus. See your name on Wisconsin's Certified Direct Care Registry. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from Three Pillars resident Lola.
When I was new, I come in and sit down, and people join me. And you get to know people, talk about feeling welcome. Art class is first early in the morning. Right now, I'm also involved in being a production assistant with a theater group. Every month, they have a supper club with a different theme. First one that I went to, they had a luau. I am so lucky to have ended up in this place, and I think it's one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
At 6:23, good morning, Debbie.
Good morning. We have this issue south of the Mitchell Interchange, just before Grange. It's an accident. The two left lanes are blocked right now, so you can get around it off to the right, but it's going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze heading through there. Other than that, everything else is looking pretty good. Not seeing any other issues through Ozaukee, Waukesha, Washington. Everything's looking great. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy today, breezy and much cooler with a high of just 67 degrees. And inland lows chilly tonight. Lakeside 47. Away from Lake Michigan tonight might dip down into the upper 30s. Right now 66 in Milwaukee. At 6:24 on this Tuesday morning, one of Milwaukee's most prominent families had some big changes recently. Mariah and Giannis got married this offseason.
So how has married life been so far?
It's been really good. Like they talk about that honeymoon phase in relationships. I feel like we're really on that honeymoon phase after marriage. Like everything's just been amazing.
Mariah Antetokounmpo talking with friend of the program, Callie Herbst, founder of Milwaukee with Kids, MKEwithkids.com. Callie live with us this morning. Hi, Callie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We had such a nice chat with Mariah, formerly Mariah Riddlesberger, now Mariah Antetokounmpo. She and Giannis tied the knot, of course. They're back at it with your help supporting Milwaukee Diaper Mission, which I want to know about. But first give us the stuff. What did she say about the wedding and all?
Okay. Yeah, no, I feel the same way. She told us about the wedding. She told us about the proposal. I had asked one of the readers had asked how he proposed, and she said that it was a shock to her. She was pregnant with their third baby, and he suggested a trip for the two of them. They hadn't gone on a trip, just the two of them together. So they went to Hawaii, and he made her a spa appointment in the morning and surprised her then in the evening down on the beach with a beautiful proposal with all kinds of flowers and that kind of thing. She said it was a beautiful proposal, and she was very happy with it.
Aw. It's nice. That is nice. So You were talking with Mariah because she and Giannis have been committed to Milwaukee Diaper Mission and have done a lot of work to raise the profile of that effort. So what did you talk about in that regard?
So she's been supporting this mission for the last couple of years. The last few years, ever since their son Maverick was born, they did, instead of a baby shower, they did a diaper drive for him. And she's taken this cause under her wing. She just feels really passionately that families shouldn't have to choose between these basic necessities. And so they've really gone all in on the Milwaukee Diaper Mission, which has been open since 2020. And before that, Milwaukee was one of the biggest cities that didn't have a diaper bank. And so this local mom sort of just started one. And that's what it is. It's really a grassroots effort. And so this year, the Charles Antetokounmpo Foundation is matching $50,000 of donations for this big give back that they do in at this time of year. And so if people, Mariah said, if it's on your heart and you think it's a good cause and a worthy cause, she does encourage people to donate to that.
You know what's so neat about it, Callie, is that there are certain folks in the world who are just good-hearted people, but also see a window of opportunity when they can influence and inspire and use their notoriety for greatness. And that's exactly what they're doing.
I mean, I can't tell you how I feel like they really seem, they're either really good actors or they're really, really down-to-earth people. I mean, she was sharing how much she enjoys raising her kids here in Milwaukee because of kind of the slower pace of life and how they can kind of go to the park and take their kids places and people will recognize them but not overwhelm them and in their space and their privacy to just have some family time. And she said they love the fall fun stuff like the apple orchards and the pumpkin patches. And of course, that was music to my ears. She was raised in California, so she doesn't love the snow. but the kids do because they were born here. So it was really fun to chat about their life and their family and all that.
Talking with the founder of Milwaukee with Kids, Callie Herbst. Callie, you speak with and engage with so many young families. For folks who haven't had babies in the house for a minute, can you characterize just really how expensive diapers are and how people can still help?
That's such a good question. And the answer is that for one baby for 1 week, it's $25. So, and then you're looking at, obviously a lot more than that, right? So you've got every week, every month, however many kids you have. And so it really gets to be expensive. And the interesting thing is, there's a couple things. Donating larger diaper sizes is where their biggest need is. If you're going to actually donate physical diapers to them, their largest need is like the size 5 and 6. But the monetary donations go so much farther because they can buy them. Obviously, they have the connections to buy them wholesale. So you can get many more diapers with your monetary donations. But yeah, so I mean, even $25 is really at least a tangible impact, right? 1 week, one baby, $25.
Callie Herbst is the founder of Milwaukee with Kids. You can see that whole interview. It's up on the website right now, mkewithkids.com. Thanks, Callie.
Thank you.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average up just 17 more points to 42,330. The NASDAQ closed up 70 points to 18,189. And the S&P 500 finished Monday at 5762. That was up about 24 points. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
When is the last time you paid less but got more in return? It happens every day if you or a loved one has Medicare Advantage. $0 copays and an average of $2,500 less out-of-pocket annually, but more benefits like dental, hearing, and vision. More prevention and screenings to keep people healthy. More care for less money. No wonder 33 million seniors choose Medicare Advantage. Visit MedicareAdvantageMajority.org to learn more. Paid for by Medicare Advantage Majority.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Admit it, you've been dealing with achy joint pain for so long. It's been so long you don't even remember when it started, when you used to feel good. You do the daily doses of medication, which basically just a Band-Aid. You've done the steroid shots, and it just doesn't last, and God knows what the long-term effects are. So let's talk real lasting relief. It is possible with the help from QC Kinetics. People in Milwaukee are reducing the inflammation, getting the mobility back, and most importantly, getting their lives back. Just call QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in cellular therapies, using your own body's healing properties. Find out if you're a candidate for regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and here's the best part, no downtime. You can go right to the office right after a treatment. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
At 6:31, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Tuesday, October 1st. Our top story, preparing for a busy day of politicking in Wisconsin.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A death in Caledonia puts an officer on leave.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94 southbound, just south of Grange. We've got an accident. 2 left lanes are blocked with this thing, and so it's backing up into the Mitchell interchange, so careful with that. Other than that, we've got a pretty good ride shaping up around the rest of the area. Westbound 94 just with a broken down vehicle on the left shoulder, right about at 84th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy, breezy, much cooler with a high of just 67 degrees. Low temperatures near the lake. Tonight, dipping down to the mid-40s, perhaps just below 40 degrees away from Lake Michigan. Right now, 66 in Milwaukee. from the WTMJ.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Thousands of dock workers up and down the East Coast and the Gulf of Mexico are off the job. The International Longshoremen's Association on strike over pay and the increased use of automation by shipping companies. Jacqueline has worked in Elizabeth, New Jersey for a decade at the port and says she knows a prolonged walkout could affect the entire country.
We want to give America what they need. All these products that come in here, it's for us, it's for you, it's for America, it's for everyone. We don't want us to go on, but we want to secure our future.
1.5 million homes and businesses in the Southeast still have no power following Hurricane Helene. Asheville, North Carolina is devastated. Paul Xavier Ryan owns a car wash there.
Every piece of equipment I have is pretty much upside down or sideways. I've been told I'm not going to have power for at least 2 weeks or so.
At least 130 people were killed in the storm. Hundreds more are still unaccounted for. The Israeli military warning people to evacuate nearly 24 towns along the Lebanese border. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:33.
Decision, Wisconsin, busy day ahead in the race for president, especially right here in our state. Former President Donald Trump will be back in Wisconsin just days after his campaign stop in the southwest part of the state. Today, he's speaking at Dane Manufacturing in Waunakee. That's just north of Madison. That's a 1:30 event, and then he heads to Milwaukee for a speech at Discovery World at 5 p.m. Also in Milwaukee this evening, the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, is scheduled to speak at 4:05. Location not yet announced. All leading up to the first and potentially only vice presidential debate. That is on CBS tonight. Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Debate in New York City, 8 p.m. our time.
A police chase ends with a deadly crash. Now the DOJ in Wisconsin investigating this death in the village of Caledonia. Racine police had tried to stop a vehicle involved in a hit and run earlier in the day. The suspect took off. Police chased after. The suspect hit a tree near 4 Mile Road in Maine. Suspect died on the scene. Law enforcement involved in that chase are now on administrative leave.
Man from Milwaukee pleading no contest in connection with a motel homicide in Franklin last winter. Orlando Pacheco faced 9 counts related to the murder of 41-year-old woman from Milwaukee last January. She was found dead at the Modern 41 Motel, 27th and Ryan Road. Pacheco could face life in prison.
The road to a World Series begins today for the Milwaukee Brewers, hosting the Mets in a best-of-3 wild card series.
From Game 1 to 162 of the regular season, Pat Murphy's Brewers have been unfazed by a lack of experience.
We didn't have a player that underachieved, and they understand the way they got here. They did it by pulling together and playing a certain way.
The youngest team in the postseason, the Brewers turned to their most experienced pitcher, Freddie Peralta, for the start in Game 1.
I think experience can help you, and that's the way to answer it. Experience can help you.
From American Family Field, Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
So network coverage here on WTMJ starts around 3:55. Of course, Wisconsin's Afternoon News, they'll be all over this as well. We got plenty of coverage throughout the morning here as well. First pitch, 4:32, right here on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:35. Coming up, happy birthday, Mr. President.
When Senator Tammy Baldwin first went to Washington, the big news story was Y2K. And we were partying like it was 1999. Baldwin has been in D.C. for more than 25 years. And after a quarter century, her values are a lot more Washington than Wisconsin. Baldwin supported providing puberty blockers and sex change surgeries to minor children in Wisconsin. And Baldwin supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters in Wisconsin to admit biological men who claim to identify as women, even though domestic violence survivors say it would be traumatic to be forced to sleep in the same shelters as men. Tammy Baldwin, 25 years in Washington, has changed her, and now she's just too extreme for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
WTMJ's Home Improvement Showcase, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Ask about their honest pricing guarantee.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. We're cooking more at home now. We're working out at home. We're hydrating more at home. Guthrie and Fry make sure the water in my house is crisp, clean, and clear. I've got their water softener. I've got an RO system that filters my water. I know that quality quality products and services at a fair price from a local company is something I can trust. That's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. Comprehensive, reliable products, fixed rental rates, Guthrie and Fry.
Makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Siding on the mid at WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
The Brewers' playoff opponent is set. We'll look ahead to the game coming up at 6:45.
Big old party taking place down south today. Former President Jimmy Carter is 100 years old.
Celebrations are happening today to mark the 100th birthday of America's 39th president. In his hometown of Plains, family friend Jan Williams tells me,
it's such a milestone that he wanted to reach. He's taught us so much in 100 years.
Carter is set to spend the day at his home there in Plains, where he's been in hospice care since February of 2023. A military flyover is planned in Plains, as well as several other community events. In Atlanta, the Carter Library is charging only 100 cents for admission, a penny for every year of his life. Jonathan O'Brien, ABC News, Atlanta.
That's the best part. That was always my favorite stories when his wife passed away a couple years ago, just how they're just cheap. Like they save sandwich bags and things just because that's what you do.
I believe you were looking for thrifty.
Yes, thrifty was the word, yes.
6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Any exterior remodeling company can give you a lot of good reasons to get a new roof, siding, windows and doors, or masonry work. Aesthetic appeal alone or just resale value help it all make sense. But I'm compelled to continue to tell you what sets Semper Fi apart from the rest. What you're going to get from Semper Fi is a reputation that is backed by an undeniable stack of proof that we are who we say we are. Our character is guided by a level of trust and accountability which not only holds our teams together, but also keeps our reputation intact. And ultimately, that means leaving you satisfied. So when you're about to make that big investment in your home, isn't that what you want? This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Get ready for game day at Sendik's. Delicious gourmet burgers and assorted varieties are just $5.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Debbie.
All right, still dealing with the two left lanes blocked on 94 southbound because of a crash. It's just before you get to Grange, so watch out for that. Then we've also got some backups heading westbound on 94 from about 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Rest of the system looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. The first cold front of the week passed through this morning. It was a dry front. Now we're seeing breezy winds and cooler temperatures out of the northwest move in. Highs today will stay in the mid to upper 60s. Tonight, a few clouds, then chilly. Temperatures falling into the 40s by the lake, upper 30s inland. Wednesday will start off to those cool temperatures and warm into the lower 70s in the afternoon with plenty of sunshine. Thursday, mid 70s with mostly sunny skies. Another cold front arrives Thursday night into Friday morning, bringing a small chance for an isolated rain shower and knocking our temperatures into the upper 60s Friday, back in the lower 70s on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 65 degrees. Coming up on 6:42 this Tuesday morning. You got to take your vehicles in for emissions.
Hate doing it. I hate it. You wait in line forever.
You can't find a place either.
They don't want to do it. It's no incentive to them to do it for you.
It is a tremendous pain in the... So there is an innovative solution that just might catch on. A self-service emissions test site.
Please explain.
So used to be, as you indicated, right? You took your car to a Department of Motor Vehicles official testing site. You know, you pull in, you do your thing, you get your tags, bing, bing, bing. But you had to go to one of those official DMV sites.
Yep.
That changed in an effort, I guess, to save the state money and to make it more convenient, right? That was the plan, that you would be able to take your vehicles just to any mechanic who was participating in the program.
Or oil change place.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Right. Any of those places, and they could do it. And then they get a little payment from the state for doing the inspection, and off you go. Well, talk to some of these mechanics, and many just quit doing it. Said it was a pain for them. It was not a money maker, that they were better off having their team working on cars.
Right, yeah.
Than getting a few bucks for handling this line of cars that was out there just for the emissions test. So it's become hard to find places that are still doing it. Enter this plan. Wisconsin Vehicle Inspection Program announcing self-service emissions testing kiosks. Very limited right now. News released this week. There'll be one on the north side of Milwaukee, 87th at Brown Deer, one on the south side, about 27th and Ryan in Oak Creek.
Okay.
So if you've got a 2007 or newer vehicle, you can use one of these sites. It's got to be easy to use, right? It didn't detail exactly how it works, but it's got to be easy.
Imagine how long those lines will be.
Oh, sir, do you not help, sir? That'd be me. I could barely change my...
You've seen the lines at Home
fluid.
Depot. Sometimes those people, you can't figure out how to slide the thing and scan your own stuff.
Yeah, there is that. Well, additionally, the state is also adding emissions-only testing locations across southeast Wisconsin, announcing some 200 facilities. Best way I can tell you on how to find one of these is you would start with the DOT website, and then you go to the emissions testing area on the DOT website, and then there are links in there that show you where these facilities are, what kind of hours. And on these other testing sites, you don't need an appointment. That's the other thing. Sometimes you got to make an appointment to go in and have your thing.
It's crazy.
No, because you want to know when you've got 15 minutes extra, and you're like, I'll just swing by
zip
here.
in, get it done. Car's going to pass anyway.
So definitely we'll go that route next time, but some relief on that front. 6:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The playoffs are here for your Milwaukee Brewers, and we're not done yet.
Two-run home run, William Contreras.
Willie Adames. Jackson Chourio.
The Brewers take on the Mets in the Wild Card Series. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage of Game 1 starts today at 3:55. The hunt for Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental. The playoffs go through us on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Gina Della from Pella asks, wouldn't it be nice if we could customize anything in life? I actually would disagree with her there. My house has nothing is standard. It's just built in this weird time, like 67, and anything I've tried to replace myself doesn't fit.
That's going to be customized.
Yeah, that's going to be a custom job, which is why we work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, because they are experts in customization. Get the look you want for your home with customizable windows and doors from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Durability of materials are tested regularly. They open and close the doors, the latches, the shades, thousands upon thousands of times to ensure these are products that will last for years to come. And other unique offerings include the fold-away hardware, custom colors, ease of maintenance. Who's got time for all that? Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin also including innovative features. You can get shades between the glass, integrated roll screens, and noise reduction. And here's the deal right now. New for October, 0% interest for up to 36 months on your project. Certain restrictions do apply. This ends on October 31st. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Are you ready, Brewers fans?
And a swing and a miss. He stuck it on. The high cheese from Devin Williams. Jackson Chourio. In the right. And another one flies. Are you kidding?
Yes, sir. Here we go. The Brewers buzz is on.
Been a pretty good season.
Pretty good season.
Had a good year.
Brewers and Mets this afternoon from American Family Field. That audio there is from my Brewers hype video that the team put together. It's on their social media. It'll work for you.
Can't miss it.
Trust me.
all the chills, all the feels.
It'll work for you. It's pretty awesome. It starts this afternoon. The Mets returning to Milwaukee following their doubleheader split with the Braves. WTMJ's Dom Catronio.
The Brewers prepare for Game 1 of the National League Wildcard Series against the New York Mets today at 4:32 right here on WTMJ. And in doing so, they have to prepare their postseason roster for the first round. 2 questions loom. Will Sal Frelick be healthy enough to join the roster? He suffered a severe contusion crashing into the right field wall on Friday night.
Got rid of the crutches yesterday and just walking around was definitely more bearable. So I'm comfortable saying that I can go out and play like I have the whole year.
Furthermore, another decision looms in the bullpen. Brian Hudson has not been with the team since the beginning of September after he was optioned to AAA Nashville. The Brewers citing a concern with his velocity and his command. Brian feels like a brand new man.
Oh, it'd be awesome. I mean, that's what I've been working this whole time for, and obviously that's what we've all worked for this whole year. So be big, and if I get that opportunity, I'll be ready.
Remember to keep it here on WTMJ, your home of the Brewers, all October long. From American Family Field, I'm Dominic Catronio.
And you, Dom, mentioned it. You think about how the Mets came to be in this position. Milwaukee to Atlanta, 2 games in Atlanta, Atlanta to Milwaukee, playing again already this afternoon because they had games rained out. Had a chance to be with Brewers owner Mark Attanasio on Monday. And I asked him, about our ballpark that the people built. When you look, Mark, at what's playing out today, 2 teams still fighting for a spot in the playoffs, having to play a doubleheader before the postseason begins. The people of Wisconsin reinvested in this ballpark with a roof. And outside of the niceties and the comforts for fans, it also brings this team a competitive advantage.
And the fact that you're going to play, every day, so you can prepare properly, less likely to have injuries for a number of reasons.
Yeah, Attanasio later telling me that he's reaching out to lawmakers in Madison this week with another thank you in light of us again making the postseason. But also, as you see what happened in the American League with the A's playing their last game ever in Oakland. Team is moving, baseball is gone in Oakland, and that moved him and caused him to want to reach out to those lawmakers and say, thanks for getting this done.
Very similar franchises. They've had a little bit more success than the Brewers, but a little bit older, but 57 years in Oakland, and now they're gone. Baseball great Pete Rose is dead at the age of 83. Dikembe Mutombo passes away. He was 58. Monday Night Football, Lions beat the Seahawks. The Titans beat the Dolphins.
Packers and Rams on Sunday. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says, yeah, he still has confidence in his young kicker, Braden Narveson. How can that be?
Are you sure?
So he explained himself. He was asked to explain that statement. Narveson missed 2 field goals in a 2-point loss to the Vikings on Sunday. LaFleur says he has confidence in him because he sees it in practice. He knows he's got the legs. He knows he can hit, but also admits that has to translate to game day success.
You got to go perform, and we expect him to make those kicks as well. So we've got to make sure that we get that production and make sure that his routine is right, and he's got to be able to self-correct as well.
His point there that, okay, you miss one, fine. Why did you miss that? What are the corrections that you need to make so you don't miss the second one? And that guy's our kicker till he's not. 3:25 kickoff in L.A. on Sunday.
From Devin Williams.
Jackson Churian.
In the right, and another one flies. Are you kidding?
New manager.
You're going to believe that there's a reason this group ended up first place, wire to wire.
New team.
Jackson Churian. The Wonder Kid strikes again.
Same old crew.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
It's playoff baseball season. We've got a pennant in our sights. The Hunt for Brew October on WTMJ is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Better organization, a path to better health? Indeed. Reading an article recently in The Guardian about decluttering, a psychotherapist who was interviewed for the piece said, quote, disorganization and clutter can lead to cognitive overload, making it difficult to concentrate and focus on tasks. The article even went on to suggest studies back that theory that clutter can be damaging. My friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets Milwaukee offer actual solutions. So you don't just clean out your cluttered spaces. You redesign them to function better, and then they stay clean. A lot of people do closets. This is why you work with the local team over there. In fact, even go and visit the showroom. It's right near the Corners, and they're located in Waukesha. They try everything out. You can dream up the reimagined space to help you clear and forever control the clutter in your home. And then you take a breath because you've taken an important step toward improving your mental and physical health. And how about your financial health? Here's the summer deal, still in effect even though we're in fall. Inspired Closets Milwaukee will knock 10% off the cost of your project or give you 18 months free financing when you tell them Vinny sent you. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets, inspiredclosetsmilwaukee.com.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Universal Windows Direct. Replaces old drafty windows before winter sets in. Universal Windows Direct exclusive super spacer technology helps keep your home insulated. Call Universal Windows Direct today. 414-410-2000. For every 2 windows you buy, 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 20, get 20. There's no limit. Plus, 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
How's the morning drive look, Deb?
It's still dealing with a little bit of a problem. Southbound 94, just about at Edgerton, got the 2 left lanes blocked with a crash, still being worked on. Backups into the Mitchell. Westbound 94, hitting the brakes from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then again, some more delays right around Moreland Road. So careful with that. Eastbound still looking pretty good so far. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast from Dave Drake Campaigning. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Partly cloudy, breezy, cooler today. The high just 67. Gonna feel like fall today. Tonight, few clouds, chilly. The low 39 inland. For Wednesday, sunny 72. Thursday, sunny 75. Friday, chance for a shower in the morning. Otherwise, partly cloudy and a high of 68. Right now, it's 6:54, 65 degrees.
On this Tuesday morning, checking in with 2-time Sports Writer of the Year and friend of the program, Lori Nickel. Lori, so you were at Bucks Media Day, which, good to see the band back together. They're about to kick off their training camp and then preseason. Yeah. But you and all your sports buddies were talking about the Brewers, right?
Well, for sure. I mean, remember I was the anti-fan at the beginning of the year for baseball, and now I'm totally hooked. Like when the Packers game was on Sunday, I had the Packers game muted. I'm like, I know how that's going to go. I was watching the Brewers game. And the 2-hour games, plus this team is really intriguing. I have like 6 storylines here that I want to follow. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know what, Lori, what I said to Vince the other day was if they can go on a run, if they can go deep, I don't know if they could make it to the World Series or whatever, but if they go deep, they could be the darlings of the league. They seem like such a likable team that the country would root for. All of Major League Baseball would root for this tiny, scrappy club.
Right, because the coach is kind of uncensored, or the manager, he says what, I've learned so much from listening to his press conferences about baseball. But when you look at Jackson Chourio and how young this team is and how far they've come, that's one. You remember they were doing like bench clearing brawls in the beginning of the year, like in April.
Right. We got in some fights.
Yeah, so they're still bringing that energy, but it's more of a Sal Frelick, like, are you hurt? I can go tomorrow. Like that kind of energy. Like they all want it. They have this energy. They have this really cool blend of the veterans with the really young, fresh-faced kids who won't be in this scenario before. They're probably going to make mistakes, which can kind of make them endearing too, like that's going to happen. But, I really want to watch for how aggressive they can maintain their style, because in playoffs, we see this in sports all the time, and I'm new to baseball, so it's new eyes for me, but do you get tight? Do you get nervous? Do you not get as aggressive with the base stealing? Are you not as comfortable at the plate? Like, what's the pitching like that they're facing? That's really what I want to face. But you had mentioned darlings. They've all been really cool to deal with. And I'm an idiot when it comes to sports. I told you that. I don't know with baseball. And everybody there has been really, really nice. So, yeah, I think everybody would like this team. They're so Milwaukee representative.
You mentioned manager Pat Murphy, Lori, and I think what's so interesting is you see such a youth movement in coaching in the National Football League, right? Matt LaFleur's in his 40s, all of these guys, the young, new, hip coach that can communicate with these younger generations. But here are the Brewers. Pat Murphy, don't know if he still is, but was 65 years old when he got the job. How is he still able to reach these young guys and strike that perfect balance?
But that's what's great, too, when you're that's a great question for him, so I'll write that down, Vince. Thanks. But I think that, I cannot wait to get to that age where I can just say what I see and not have to play the game of, I don't want to offend you, or tell me what needs to be done so I can get better. And a true athlete, true competitor, that's what they're looking for. And Pat Murphy just seems to have the no BS factor to him with his approach to being a manager. And what does he have to lose? I mean, how many people expected of him when he took over? That was such a controversial nationally. So he can this first year is totally a honeymoon year, and everything went great. And, even when they had the 4-game hangover losing streak, he pulled them together without calling anybody out or throwing anybody on the bus publicly. So, don't overlook the 65-year-old, and same with Doc Rivers with the Bucks. Let some of these, stuff at that point. You've lived it. So let that knowledge be bestowed to a young team like this with Bryce Terang and Churio and all these other kids.
If you do ask him the question, I'll get you ready for the answer, because Erik and I pursued a similar line of questioning with Murph when he was new. What did he use the term? My tired old ass? Is that what you want to know? How does my tired old ass talk to these kids? Get ready for that answer.
Okay, I can use that in print. Absolutely. I can definitely use that.
Lori Nicolai with us this morning on the front end of the Brewers playoff run. Thanks, Lori. See you at the yard today.
Awesome. See you later.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Which country clubs in the Milwaukee area are on the upswing? Business Journal analysis finds North Shore in Mequon ranks as largest by assets. They're followed by Bigfoot in Walworth County and Blue Mound in Wauwatosa. Discount retailer Big Lots is in bankruptcy, but some southeast Wisconsin stores survive. Ollie's Bargain Outlet of Ohio buys leases for stores in West Bend, Mount Pleasant, Sheboygan, and Fond du Lac. Potawatomi Hotel Casino is Metro Milwaukee's largest special attraction with nearly 5 million attendees in 2023. The Brewers rank second. Wisconsin State Fair Park jumps to fourth on the list with 2 million. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Is it a challenge to connect with that young generation?
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
It's our Farm and Animal Appreciation Event at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, enjoy unbeatable prices on the brands you trust to keep your farm going strong. Like a DeWalt Power Stack Starter Kit with 2 batteries included, half price. 8 packs of Energizer AA or AAA batteries, your choice, just $6.99. And save on 4-pound pails of Tomcat, Mouse, and Rat Bait chunks, $19.99. Plus, we've worked with our brand partners to get prices down. So shop our new lower everyday prices at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
It's David Nason, your personal inspection pro from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show. I'm with my go-to basement repair guy, Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair.
This is the team I personally recommend for leaky or cracked basements.
Wow, thanks, David. Our team at Accurate Basement Repair has been fixing leaky and cracked basements for the Fix-It listeners for over 20 years.
That's great, Chris. For more information about how to schedule a free inspection and estimate, check out AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. Let's see who the Brewers are playing today. It's the Mets.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Vientos K. Nimmo K. Alonso K.
Our coverage of Game 1 of the Wild Card Series starts today at 3:55. Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 7:03, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, Tuesday, October 1st. Our top story, the second Super Tuesday of the 24 campaign.
I'm Erik Bilstad. The ballot box is back.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94 southbound. Two left lanes are still blocked just about at Edgerton because of a crash. So we got delays heading back all the way through the Mitchell interchange. Westbound 94's got some backups from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound 94's got some delays as well from about 84th Street all the way into the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, a chilly high of 67 degrees today, and tonight's going to get, can I say coldy?
Yeah, I would say chilly. Yes, absolutely.
Lakeside low down to 47. Inland, 39 degrees
Yes,
low temp tonight.
That's chilly.
Right now it's 64. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin. Busy day in the race for president right here in Wisconsin.
Former President Donald Trump is back in the state just days after his campaign stop in Prairie du Chien. He'll speak at Dane Manufacturing in Waunakee this afternoon around 1:30 before heading to Milwaukee for a speech at Discovery World starting at 5. Also in Milwaukee this evening is 2nd Gentleman Doug Emhoff, who's expected to speak at 4:05 at an unknown location. It all leads to the first and potentially only VP debate on CBS tonight, pitting Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio against Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Absentee ballot drop box is back in Wausau. The city's lone drop box now secured to the ground outside City Hall, and according to guidelines set by the Wisconsin Elections Commission. Issue with the drop box started last week when the mayor there, Doug Denny, removed the box, claiming that it was unsecured and that it should be up to the city council to decide whether it should be used.
Hurricane Helene is being blamed for more than 130 deaths in 6 states across the southeast. Rescue crews in western North Carolina struggling to clear damaged roads and help people in some of the hardest hit communities. They're using choppers as well in some areas. FEMA is providing 20 truckloads of food and 40 truckloads of water to North Carolina now for the next several days.
Overnight, Israel launching a ground offensive into southern Lebanon. Caps 2 weeks of offensive moves against Hezbollah that have shaken that terror group. Meanwhile, reports indicate the U.S. deeply concerned about this, and it could ignite a full-scale war between the sides, eventually one that Iran could join in.
Israeli tanks rolling into southern Lebanon for the first time in decades. The IDF calling it a, quote, limited and targeted ground operation against Hezbollah. IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari says forces are carrying out raids on Hezbollah military positions in the Lebanese villages close to the border. But Hagari gave no details on how long the IDF may operate. That's raising questions about whether Israel may seek to seize and hold Lebanese territory. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
The postseason begins today for your Milwaukee Brewers. They take on the New York Mets. The Brewers enter the postseason, the youngest team vying for a World Series.
But they aren't void of World Series experience, namely Willie Adames and Rhys Hoskins.
Rhys opened up to the team a little bit a few days ago and talked about the postseason and talked about what it was like. And I wouldn't be surprised if he shows out a little bit.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy.
Yeah, I can't say enough about what Willie means to our club. He's special. taken on Churio and even Contreras to some extent and help them along in their adjustment to a new team and new bunch of guys.
From American Family Field, Greg Matzik, WTMJ Sports.
4:32 first pitch. Freddie Peralta on the hill for the Crew. Coverage here on WTMJ from the network begins at 3:55.
Coming up, the richest are getting richer. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Does your home need a new defensive coach? Is it prepared for the upcoming wind, cold, rain, and snow? I recommend Siding Unlimited. Can wind and cold get through your windows? Siding Unlimited fixes that. Water and snow a challenge for your roof? Siding Unlimited fixes that too. Is the siding letting the elements through or just looking offensive? Fixing that is Siding Unlimited's first and continuing specialty. When the weather's offense beats your home's defense, call in Siding Unlimited. They're not only the best, they're now a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Their name says siding, but they're so much more. Whatever the challenge, put Siding Unlimited in. See their stuff, siding, windows, roofing, and decks, on Instagram or at their unique outside-in showroom in Brookfield. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? SidingUnlimited.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Admit it, you've been dealing with achy joint pain for so long. It's been so long you don't even remember when it started, when you used to feel good. You do the daily doses of medication, which basically just a Band-Aid. You've done the steroid shots, and it just doesn't last, and God knows what the long-term effects are. So let's talk real lasting relief. It is possible with the help from QC Kinetics. People in Milwaukee are reducing the inflammation, getting the mobility back, and most importantly, getting their lives back. Just call QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in cellular therapies, using your own body's healing properties. Find out if you're a candidate for regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and here's the best part, no downtime. You can go right to the office right after a treatment. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss at brewers.com/postseason.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:09.
Brewers and Mets in the playoffs this afternoon. The Brewers absolutely dominated New York in this one particular statistic. We'll get into why that might help them in this series coming up at 7:15.
No contract, no work, no contract.
Dock workers at ports from Maine to Texas are now walking picket lines in a strike over wages and automation that could reignite inflation and cause shortages of goods if it goes on for more than a few weeks. The contract between the ports and about 45,000 members of the International Longshoremen's Association expired at midnight.
Public hearings coming to Milwaukee and Racine this week on proposed electricity rate hikes. We Energy is seeking roughly 9% rate increase for residential customers next year, followed by an 8.5% increase in 26. If that's approved by the Wisconsin Public Service Commission, typical monthly residential electric bill would rise about $25.
The wealth of the richest 400 U.S. citizens is continuing to soar, with the group now collectively worth a record $5.5 trillion.
Imagine being worth $3 billion like Oprah. Our favorite! Or $1.3 billion like Taylor Swift, and you still don't make the Forbes 400 richest Americans list. The entry price this year was higher than ever at $3.3 billion. Elon Musk remains on top. Amazon's Jeff Bezos is second, with Oracle's Larry Ellison third. Back on the list is former President Donald Trump with an estimated net worth of $4.3 billion. There are also 23 newcomers who made their fortunes in everything from plastic pipes to AI. Cooper Lawrence, CBS News.
So, also on that list, not you.
Not this year, anyway.
The absurd amounts of money there. 7-Eleven on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
We're thrilled to have the one and only Will Pounder.
I don't know what that means.
Labeled or known as being a big baguette.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Milwaukee Neri and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. Traffic brought to you by Annex Wealth Management. Financial and retirement planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Ready for you at annexwealth.com.
Debbie, what do you see on the roads?
Yeah, they're still working on this accident on 94 southbound, south of Layton. The 2 left lanes still blocked right now. Backups back through the Mitchell interchange. Eastbound 94 starting to slow down a bit from 92nd Street all the way to 68th. The westbound side is going to be a bit tight, heading right through the Stadium interchange itself. And southbound 43 backing up from Hampton down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High up to 67 degrees today under partly cloudy skies. Few clouds tonight and chilly lows. Lakeside low down to 47. Inland could dip to 39 degrees. Sunshine and high of 72 on Wednesday. Right now 64 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Tonight is the night. Mono. It's go time.
Well, you're trying really hard to make it sexy.
Yes, the famous VP debates of past. We're all thinking about them today. Okay. Governor Tim Walz takes on Senator J.D. Vance in tonight's vice presidential debate in New York.
For 90 minutes, they will go head-to-head on the issues that will determine this race: abortion, immigration, and, of course, the economy. There will be no audience, just the candidates and the CBS News moderators, and no opening statements. Now, instead, each candidate will get 2 minutes to answer and respond to each question, 1 minute for additional rebuttals. And in a change from the presidential debate, the microphones will be turned on the whole night.
ABC's Mary Bruce, no opening statements, no closed off mics, and no fact checking. CBS says, no, not going to do it. That the candidates have to fact check themselves, that they're not going to get into those waters because of some of the controversy during the presidential one a few weeks ago.
Well, I think the point I raised earlier is you have to know what's coming, so you've done your research so that your fact check is accurate. And sometimes you don't know in the moment. Like if you hear something that raises an eyebrow, what does anybody do? You go to Google and say, is this true? Or
Or you look back at some of your other archives.
If you can't do that instantly, then I guess it's not fair to be, well, here's a fact check on you, but not on you.
And I think that's what happened with the ABC one, is they knew some of the statements that the former President Trump was likely going to say, and that's why they were so ready to fact check that, whereas it was more nebulous on the Harris side of things. It's unfortunate because, and it's really difficult for a moderator to be able to do that on both sides and be able to, that's almost impossible.
Well, then let them fact check each other then.
See, I know you. Let them just lie.
No, you're
because
lying.
they just lie.
Because then call each other out.
They just say, but they. I mean,
just facilitate the debate.
You could call each other out with another lie. That's my point. Is that we can't trust them.
Right.
Which is it.
That's
what is
fair.
that? What does that tell you? We'll just have to hope that they're telling us something that's somewhat close to being accurate. Like, thanks for nothing. Anyway, that's tonight, 8:00 start time.
Follow Eric's Twitter feed. He will fact check tonight in real time.
It's difficult to do.
Yes.
The Brewers play at the same time, or there will be in post Brewers coverage at that point, so we won't carry the debate, but it will be on 101.7 The Truth. Meanwhile, a little bit earlier in the day, former President Trump will be in Milwaukee, so he will be here at Discovery World 5 o'clock. So if you live downtown or work downtown, be prepared. You'll see some road closures before and after that event at Discovery World later today.
Sports up next. It's sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Hey, gear up for fall and winter adventures at a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC. Score deep closeout savings on many, stackable with enticing offers to lower your bottom line and payment. Holiday's Truck Month sale is on. The destination to get more truck or SUV for your buck, more for your trade, while you enjoy the transparency and ease of their simplified buying approach and warm and genuine guest care. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over Fans like me and thousands of others who appreciate the many ways Team Holiday makes car shopping fun, simple, and pressure-free. Navigate today's car market with confidence with Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer on your side. Accolades are per 2023 Buick and GMC zone sales records. Treat yourself to a test drive. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
And then came the Mets.
And the ball game is over. From 0-5 to OMG, what a ride! The Mets are going to the postseason in 2024.
That call on Sportsnet New York as the Mets clinch a trip to the playoffs and beat the Braves in Game 1 of their doubleheader on Monday. It was a great game. Really good game. First one was pretty good. Second game kind of boring. They lost the second game 3-0, which sends the Braves to San Diego, and New York returns to Brew City.
The Brewers and Mets prepare to meet for a third time, this time in the postseason, as the Brewers get ready to host New York starting today at 4:32. One of the pieces of success for the Brewers, going 5-1 in the regular season against New York, was stealing bases, going 17 for 17. Overall, the Brewers had the second most steals in baseball. Rhys Hoskins knows just how valuable that could be.
We just make teams uncomfortable. We're on the base pass, gaining confidence, stealing bases, pushing the envelope a little bit. That just helps the confidence, I think, of the rest of the team. Just continuing to push that chaos, I think, is definitely something that we can leverage into helping us win some games here.
Willie Adames knows it can turn in a moment's notice from anyone.
You can't be surprised, even like Rhys could go, at some point, you never know. And I think that's why we were so good during the whole season, because we're just aggressive.
From American Family Field, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
First pitch at 4:32 today. Had an audience with Brewers owner Mark Attanasio on Monday, Eric. A few of us invited to talk with him for about 45 minutes at American Family Field. Kind of sat around the table and just fired questions, and he's pretty open. When you think of where we were a year ago, right after the playoff run, you've got manager Craig Counsell, hometown guy, Brewer through and through, spurns the offer from Attanasio himself, instead goes to the Cubs to make matters worse. And the Northsiders finished 10 full games behind the Brewers in the division. I tried. You just mentioned losing Craig. I would invite you to please gloat a little bit about how this turned out for Chicago and for us.
I think my superstition does not permit me to gloat. Look, I'm mindful. I looked at some of our metrics this year. The league now has a balanced schedule. You play outside, every team outside the league. And on every metric this year, we succeeded.
What? He pivoted a little bit.
Right into statistically, we did well against these teams. We have a winning record on the road and here at home. So he didn't take the bait.
Okay.
He said, how did he phrase it? Gloating is not in my makeup.
But he did tear into David Stearns, right?
But he really ripped him as well.
Baseball great Pete Rose dead at the age of 83. Dikembe Mutombo passed away. NBA great. He was 58. He had brain cancer. Monday Night Football, the Lions win easy over the Seahawks. The Titans beat the Dolphins.
And the Packers have the Los Angeles Rams on the road this week. Brother versus brother. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, his brother Mike, is the offensive coordinator for the Rams. Asked if the two would be chatting it up this week.
I blocked his calls. He's out. No, I'm sure I'll talk to him. It's my brother, man. I'm going to talk to him. But we're not going to talk about ball.
If you were calling one of your brothers, right?
I can go a week without talking to my brother, though,
right? This would be that week.
Hey, so have you talked to Mom lately? How are things
how's
going?
things? Good. Yeah. Where can I stop by and see you? Can we have dinner?
Can I have the cabin this weekend?
Packers and Rams, Los Angeles, 3:25 kick Sunday.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our retirement-ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Hi, I'm Dewey Strobel. When I learned that 1 in 7 Wisconsinites struggle with literacy and that only 13% of elementary students at our state's largest school district read at grade level, I knew we had to do something. Reading is the #1 building block for learning, and our kids were falling behind. So I introduced and passed a bipartisan literacy bill to develop a proven phonics-based curriculum and give schools the resources they need to implement it. Teaching our kids to read isn't partisan. I worked with elected officials from both sides of the aisle to get this bill signed into law by Governor Evers. Because to keep our state moving forward, we have to make sure our kids have the tools they need to be successful. I'm Dewey Strobel, and when Wisconsin is facing serious issues, you can count on me to cut through the partisan gridlock and deliver results for you and your family. I'd be honored to earn your vote for State Senate this November. Paid for by Dewey for Senate.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Dave from Feldco. Did drafty windows make last winter frigid? Listen, Feldco's here to make things easier for you. It's the perfect time of year to replace those old windows. Right now, get 50% off windows plus no interest for 1 year. You heard that right. 50% off plus no interest for 1 year. Visit us at 4feldco.com or give us a call at 866-4FELDCO.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO.
Checking in with Debbie here at 722.
All right, southbound on 94. Yep, still got that. Actually, no, I think they've got that cleared up. There was an accident just south of Layton Avenue. It had the 2 left lanes blocked. As I'm looking at the cameras, looks like they may have actually got it cleaned up. But that being said, we do still have delays heading back into the Mitchell interchange. So just be extra careful. Tow truck's still there. Okay, so it's going to be in the way for a little bit longer. Westbound 94, we are seeing backups right through the Stadium interchange. Eastbound, slowing down from 92nd Street all the way through to the Stadium interchange. And then we've got also a broken down vehicle on 41 southbound right about at Hampton Avenue. We are seeing delays from Appleton all the way down to Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy, breezy, and cooler today. High of just 67 degrees, and tonight's lows will be chilly. Inland, it could dip down to the upper 30s tonight for your low temperature. Be closer to the mid-40s if you're by Lake Michigan.
We looked outside, and there was a 30-foot tall wall of water and rocks and tree debris just coming at us, and it just knocked the house straight down with all of us in it, and we all got washed down river.
Man in North Carolina talking about losing his house in what was left of Hurricane Helene at that point, bringing Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky this morning. Point is, these pictures out of the southeast are amazing, and most of them away from where the storm made landfall. Yep. That's what's so remarkable.
Yeah, every hurricane we talked about it leaves its mark in a different way. You had the complete opposite with Harvey a few years ago, where it sat on the coastline and Houston area got dumped with 50 inches of rain. This one moved in fast, and it moved inland fast. I mean, it made landfall one evening, and then the next morning you woke up and the storm was already past Atlanta and working its way into the Carolinas. So when it moves that fast, it's able to keep its strength. So, not completely, but enough to cause all this damage and still have a ton of rainfall with it. Georgia's a mess with tons of trees down. The Valdosta area, all the way up into northern Georgia. There's still like hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million people without power. It is an absolute mess.
I mean, we heard some crazy numbers of like 50 trillion gallons of water being dumped in a matter of a couple of days. I mean, just numbers that we can't even process.
Yeah, Asheville, North Carolina especially. You had some spots that were up in the mountains outside of Asheville that were popping over 20 inches of rain, and then all that water comes rushing down. That's unheard of for that area. And when you get that much rain, I hate to underplay anything, but it's one thing to get 20 inches of rain if you're if you already live in a bayou or a marsh. Right. It's another to get 20 inches of rain where you're in such rough terrain and mountains where this water comes rushing down, and it has nowhere to go but the valleys, and the valleys are the cities in Asheville, and you have a tremendous disaster there. It's just, it's a mess. It's I'm guilty of it. Like when a hurricane comes ashore, I always the focus is on what the wind speed is going to be at landfall and what storm surge is going to happen. The coastline, what coastline is going to just get, devastated. And then you don't think about inland spots. Now, this was definitely a severe case where, it moved so fast inland, but I guess as the days went on, we are seeing more and more how devastating this hurricane is.
It also was so big, Niz, like across, right? I mean, the winds that we had this weekend, that was like a result of that. That's how it touched us?
Absolutely, yeah, related. So when we saw the little bit of clouds that we had at times this weekend, that was fringe clouds of the hurricane. And you're right, the wind that we had directly related to the hurricane, because wind is created by change in pressure. And we had high pressure to the north of us, and then we had the low pressure, which was the hurricane, to the south of us. And we're right on the fringe of that. And yes, the 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts that we had related to what was left of the hurricane. And just a monster of a system, and devastating for them. You guys will have to talk to Tyler Moore, meteorologist Tyler Moore. I don't know if you've discussed it with him, but he was supposed to have his wedding this weekend in Asheville.
Oh,
that's where him and his fiance Justine went to school. They fell in love with that community, and Tyler and his soon-to-be wife are so compassionate that they and I'm not just saying this. Some people always just say, "Oh yeah, they're caring people." They are so compassionate that Tyler is doesn't say anything about how disappointing it is about the wedding. He's more concerned about that community and the lives lost and stuff. It's pretty bad.
Hundreds still unaccounted for, so that story is not going to get any better anytime soon. As of now, there's no other storms rolling through there, right, that we can anticipate?
Yeah, nothing in the immediate future. It is still the end of I was going to say the end of September, the beginning of October, where this is still, in the heart of hurricane season. So we got to buckle down for a few more weeks, and then things start to slowly go down by the end of October and into November. You still could get hurricanes then. But usually the big ones, the peak time is, now and starting to wrap up in a couple weeks.
Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky with us. All right, real quick, how you feeling about the Brewers, Niz?
I like the Mets matchup, and I hate to say that because now
Right.
so the Mets will spank us. But it is the draw that I think we wanted. We catch them. Yeah, we just got done playing them. They were just in Milwaukee. Now they got to fly back into Milwaukee after playing a doubleheader. And it is kind of the matchup. I like it. I like the team. Me personally, this is a team that I've been able to latch onto. We've got players that are enjoyable. They seem to be having fun. Names and they're just an exciting team. So I'm all in.
Niznansky all in on the crew. Thanks, my friend.
All right, guys, see ya.
And that's a forecast we can take to the bank right
Take
there.
it to the bank. News about your money this morning, WTMJ. Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 17 to 42,330. NASDAQ closed on Monday at 18,189. That was up 70 points. And the S&P 500 at 5762, up 24. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. And joining us today is Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, I want to talk about employee benefits today. R&R Insurance provides those benefits for all of us here at Good Karma Brands. It's a great program. And companies, us here too, fast approaching open enrollment.
Thanks, Vince. Great to be here. Employee benefits are one of a company's largest expenses. Businesses need to know how to use their employee benefits program as a tool to attract and retain employees. A benefit understood is a benefit appreciated. This means it's critical to know how best to communicate your company's employee benefits program. The right message will help employees understand their option and guide their decision-making. It'll also increase their sense of value and engagement. Employees will be more inclined to participate and see it as a part of their total compensation program.
So looking at the current very competitive job market, Jeff, what impact do these employee benefit packages have on, say, a candidate's decision to sign with a company?
The impact is huge. Numerous studies indicate that in today's environment, new hires more frequently select the employer with the best overall employee benefits package.
So, Jeff, why R&R Insurance?
Vince, at R&R Insurance, we'll help employers brand their benefit packages in a customized, easy-to-understand fashion, taking out the complex and confusing nature of shopping for employee benefits insurance. More importantly, we'll manage and provide as much support as you need for your open enrollment process and beyond. With our latest mobile technology, your employees will have easy, immediate access to benefits information for themselves and their families 24/7.
Can confirm. That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. More information at myknowledgebroker.com. At 7:32, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, October 1st, our top story, former President Trump returns to Wisconsin.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Brew October kicks into gear.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. The accident south of the Mitchell interchange on 94 southbound has been cleared. Unfortunately, though, we've got another one. Southbound 4394 right before the Mitchell interchange. That one has the left lane blocked. We've also got a crash on westbound 94 right about at Highway 175 in the Stadium interchange. Left lane is blocked with that. We've also got some delays heading past that, obviously, from about 25th Street out to the accident scene. And then on eastbound 94, we're pretty heavy all the way from the Zoo interchange all the way through to 25th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy, breezy, cooler today with a high of 67 degrees. Few clouds overnight and chilly. Lakeside low 47 could dip to 39 away from Lake Michigan. Right now 64 in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The International Longshoremen's Association on strike. About 45,000 dock workers along the east and Gulf coasts are off the job over pay and, they say even more importantly, automation. Search teams still trying to track down hundreds of people unaccounted for after Hurricane Helene. ABC's Faith Abube is in Asheville, North Carolina.
Some people here without food, power, or water are growing desperate by the minute. In fact, we saw a couple of people along this road yesterday who were so desperate that they were going through the storm debris, trying to find any kitchen item they can find so they can put it over an open fire and cook something to eat.
The first and only vice presidential debate will be held tonight. Both campaigns have been trying to lower expectations for Tim Walz and J.D. Vance. The Israeli military moving into southern Lebanon for what it says are targeted operations against Hezbollah militant leaders. The IDF is warning those along the border to evacuate as it blows up tunnels and arsenals. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin. Busy day ahead here in Wisconsin in the race for president. Former President Trump back in the state just days after his campaign stop in Prairie du Chien. Today he'll be in the Madison area about 1:30 and then head to Milwaukee for a speech at Discovery World at 5 p.m. The second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, also scheduled to speak in the area today. A little bit after 4 o'clock. Location has not yet been announced. And you have the vice presidential debate on CBS tonight.
The State Department of Justice is investigating a death on Monday in the village of Caledonia, Racine County. Racine police tried to stop a vehicle involved in a hit and run earlier in the day. The suspect took off. They chased after him. The suspect hit a tree. Suspect dead at the scene. Law enforcement involved in that chase now on administrative leave pending the investigation.
Man from Milwaukee pleading no contest in connection with a motel homicide in Franklin last winter. Orlando Pacheco faced 9 counts related to the murder of 41-year-old woman from Milwaukee last January. She was found dead in the hotel at 27th and Ryan Road. Pacheco could face life in prison.
The road to a World Series begins today for your Milwaukee Brewers, hosting the Mets in a best-of-3 wild-card series.
From Game 1 to 162 of the regular season, Pat Murphy's Brewers have been unfazed by a lack of experience.
We didn't have a player that underachieved, and they understand the way they got here. They did it by pulling together and playing a certain way.
The youngest team in the postseason, the Brewers turned to their most experienced pitcher, Freddie Peralta, for the start in Game 1.
I think experience can help you, and that's the way to answer it. Experience can help you.
From American Family Field, Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
First pitch, 4:32. Our coverage of the network starts at 3:55 here on WTMJ. And, of course, Wisconsin's Afternoon News will be all over it as well.
I'll be out at the yard reporting for Wisconsin's Afternoon
Very
News.
nice.
Working very hard.
Okay, good. Enjoy.
Have a long day ahead, Eric. Feel bad
tough.
for me.
That is tough.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Get ready for game day at Sendik's. Delicious gourmet burgers and assorted varieties are just $5.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Coming up, the news conference at 12:30 this afternoon. Now, normally we don't tease ahead to a news conference, but they say they've got something on reckless driving. We'll preview it next.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Why trust Grandview Homes to buy your home? It's simple. We make the home selling process fast, easy, and stress-free, even if your home is less than perfect. No real estate agents, no repairs, no cleanouts needed. Leave the mess and the stress to us. At Grandview Homes, we live and work in your neighborhoods. Our reputation is built on 15 years treating sellers with the dignity and respect they deserve. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:38.
So Milwaukee today is set to announce what it calls a new plan in the battle against reckless driving, an epidemic that literally is claiming innocent lives on Milwaukee streets, right? In fairness, it's not entirely unique to Milwaukee, but the problem is worse here than anywhere. News conference today, and here's the advisory that we got from Mayor Cavalier Johnson's office. Mayor joins prosecutors and police to announce a coordinated effort to hold reckless drivers fully accountable. At the announcement today will be Milwaukee City Attorney, Milwaukee Police, Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office involved, city elected officials. And here's what it reads. They're going to announce a new concerted effort to hold reckless drivers fully answerable for the most egregious traffic violations. Coordinated enforcement and prosecution will employ existing state laws so that criminal accountability is possible for repeat offenders. So I did some digging, for our show. I don't like folks to have to wait for the news, right?
Yeah, if we can get it now,
sometimes we
can
get somebody to leak us some information about what's to come. Like I like for you, listen to our show, to be ahead of the game. So here's the scoop. I am told that they are going to announce a second art car.
No, that's not true. Stop it.
I'm sorry. Seriously, that is not true. I actually couldn't get any more on what specifically they're going to announce.
Well, it sounds like they even just said it. We're going to enforce state law is what I heard you just read.
Right, which shouldn't require a news conference.
Right, yes,
they didn't change the state law.
Right,
We're just going to, actually enforce the law. But it's a step, okay? My hope is, unlike the $88,000 now broke down art car, that this will actually be a serious proposal.
If you want us to take you seriously, make us take you seriously.
Immortal words of former sports guy here, Brian D. The art car, an unserious demonstration and waste of money. So hopefully this is something with some actual teeth to it. 12:30 is the announcement at Milwaukee City Hall. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10, right here on WTMJ.
You're busy. Work, family, life. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what you'll do about things like retirement planning, selling a business, investing, or building your legacy. So your buddy hooks you up with his guy. Seems fine, but when it gets down to advice, you're all of a sudden knee-deep in products packed with commissions. You start to wonder, are you getting advice or are you getting a sales pitch? Annex Wealth Management is a fee-only fiduciary. No commission products, just advice. And clear thinking when it comes to your investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Annex believes financial planning is for everyone. Annex Comprehensive Wealth is a great fit for most. For those who have high net worth and complex planning challenges, consider Annex Private Client. For those just starting out, Annex Ignite is a great choice. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. It only takes a couple of minutes. Set your own appointment at a time convenient for you. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. annexwealth.com.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
At 7:42, what's going on in the morning drive, Debbie?
Well, we've got basically an accident on 4394 southbound heading into the Mitchell interchange. Left lane is blocked with that one. We've also got a crash westbound 94 right in the stadium interchange. Looks like the left lane is blocked with a crash there, although there is a semi off on the right shoulder as well. Basically delays out of the Marquette all the way to that point. Eastbound's going to be backed up from about Highway F all the way through the Barker Road area. And then again from 92nd Street through the stadium as well. A little bit of a backup on northbound 43, the Rock Freeway, from the county line all the way through the Hale interchange past Forest Home. Hey, BRI's on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy, breezy, cooler, a high of 67 today. Going to feel like fall. Tonight, a few clouds and really chilly inland. The low tonight is 39 inland. Wednesday, sunny 72. Thursday, sunny 75. Friday, slight chance for rain in the morning, otherwise partly cloudy, and a high of 68. 64 at 7:43.
Did get an interesting text, not an interesting text, just an important piece of information that we don't have an answer to as of yet. Roof open or closed tonight?
4:32 start.
Temperatures will be in the mid-60s once we're into the game. Low 60s by the time we're out of it.
We called the hotline.
Hotline's not yet updated.
We'll just have to call the manager and ask him.
And we'll talk to Pat Murphy next in Brewers 360. Inviting you to participate in the WTMJ Fall 2024 Fan Survey. Takes you only about 10 minutes to fill it out. To participate, text the word survey to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. We'll send you the link. And to thank you for filling it out, we'll enter you to win a package that includes a pair of Bucks tickets to the upcoming season and an overnight stay at the Pfister.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
In this real estate market, you need an aggressive real estate agent. Milwaukee Realty pays for client home inspections and well inspections for their buyers and sellers. That's aggressive. Ask your favorite agent if they will, and then call Milwaukee Realty.
Longing for thick, healthy, gorgeous hair? Say goodbye to shedding thin and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with hair volume from New Nordic.
Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
And the Green Bay Packers are in last place. The Lions beat the Seahawks. The Titans beat the Dolphins. And moving on from there. Baseball, it starts today. Game 1 of the Wild Card Series. It's the Brewers, it's the Mets. 4:32 first pitch right here on WTMJ.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, and we have your playoff manager on the line. Brewers manager Pat Murphy. Morning, Murph.
Morning, guys.
Roof open or closed? What's your preference this afternoon and into the evening?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I think 4:30
top
game.
of mind.
Yeah, 4:30 game. There's some pretty stiff shadows sometimes, but you just like it to be fair for everybody. And sometimes the shadows play havoc, but you can't worry about it. It's playoff time. It's all bets are off. Just get it done.
I want to ask you about how things turned out in terms of opponent. So you had the Mets in here for the weekend series. They had to fly to Atlanta for the doubleheader, burned through a lot of arms yesterday in making sure that they made the postseason. Now they fly back here tonight. How do you feel that impacts how things play out tonight?
Well, they earned a playoff opportunity, and they're excited, and they didn't really burn through many arms. If you look at it, they really have their 1, 2, and 3 ready to go. So it's from a pitching standpoint, they didn't have to burn through arms. They used their bottom guys. They didn't really go after it in the second game. So the fact that they had to fly back and forth is, I think it's probably good for us. But at the same time, it's baseball. They've got a ton of veterans. They have a $300 million budget, so it's. They have a ton of veterans, ton of guys that have done this, played in the All-Star game, MVPs. They have it all. So very formidable opponent, but we've done some good things too. So we're excited.
Have you seen David Stearns? Is he strutting around like he owns the place?
No, he's great. I got a chance to see David when we started the series. He'll always be a friend. He's great. But they're excited that they got in, and they started so slow, so nobody expected it until late in the season. They started to play great. Their second half was whatever it was, 64-31. Their last 90 games and 95 games. So they've been very, very good. They got their top 3 pitchers ready. So we're not. It's not lopsided because they went to Atlanta. They went to Atlanta and earned the right to be in the playoffs, and they're excited. But
Murph, do you know, and if you do, would you say what the rest of your rotation looks like? We know Freddie starts tonight. Do you know who Game 2 is at this point?
Well, we got a pretty good idea. You have a pretty good idea. It's one of our guys that we're probably, because they don't have a lot of left-handed hitters at the top, we're probably not going to use an opener. So it's probably either Frankie or Aaron Zavalli. So everybody can figure that out. But we're not trying to hide it from everybody. We just need to go one game at a time and blow through it, and get to the next round.
Murph, did you ever cross paths with Pete Rose? Rose passing away yesterday. He was 83.
No, I did. No, I know he had a great life. I know he would have liked to go to his grave knowing he was going to be in the Hall of Fame. And I think at some point people will recognize that while this guy isn't proud of probably what he did, but he did a lot on the field. He did a lot for the game, and was just a tremendous player. So I think probably someday people recognize that, and he gets in some sort of way for his accomplishments on the field. But yeah, it's a sad day. I got to spend a little time with him in Florida way back when, and he was a pretty intense guy.
Hey, Murph, we got to tell you, Vince makes fun of me because I always bring up this. It's the Brewers Buzz. That's our Brewers Buzz. And the reason we play that is because, no joke, it doesn't even get asked about. I'll be talking to just anybody, and all of a sudden, somehow the Brewers come up. I'll just ask, like, my wife's aunt, like, how you doing? And she's like, oh, well, the Brewers. It's like on everybody's mind. Like, thanks to you and what you guys are doing, like, the Brewers buzz is real. It's just people are walking in a happier pace the last several months because of how well this team has played. And not only that, how much fun they are to root for. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for saying that. I don't interact all that much, with fans and things like that. And it's a shame you miss out on stuff like this, but it's been a fun ride. It's been a enjoyable thing to watch these young players. I mean, we'll start 6 guys tonight, maybe 7, but we'll start 6 for sure, that they're either first-year players or just into their second year. And to see them win 93 games in a Major League season and be the team that nobody thought could, and it's just been a joy to be around. But we've got more work to do. I don't think they're satisfied with this, and I think they're very capable. But any one of these teams in the playoffs can win. Any one of these, it's been proven over time. Any one of these teams can get hot at the right time and win it all. So why not us?
Why not us? Thanks, Murph. Really appreciate it. Good luck tonight.
You got it. Take care.
Go get him. Here we go.
Can you just... Man, we're very fortunate to have him here.
It's a Brewers Buzz.
I don't know if he
wanted the Brewers Buzz. By the way, a special look back at the phenomenal Brewers season. We'll do that during the 8 o'clock hour.
And a little bit more of my conversation with Brewers owner Mark Attanasio. Boy, he just raved about the job Murph has done. Of course, who around there isn't, right. But tells a little bit more of a story about how that hire came to be. And we'll do that just after 8 o'clock. Tauscher next.
Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Luxtone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:53.
Okay, still dealing with an accident westbound 94, just heading through the stadium interchange. They're saying that the left lane is blocked right at Highway 175. A little bit past the 175 interchange, we do have a semi off on the right side of the road as well. So backups all the way back through the Marquette. Eastbound's heavy from 92nd Street through the stadium. Southbound on 41, slowing down from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 also backing up basically from Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol Drive as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of just 67 degrees today. Inland low will dip down to 39 tonight, a little bit warmer by Lake Michigan, and a sunny high of 72 tomorrow. Right now, 64.
Idea Man.
The way Xavier McKinney is tracking, Bilstad underestimated his own boldness, which when I first heard it, I was thinking he's crazy.
Innovative.
Intercepted for a 4th time in 4 games, McKinney!
And Packers Hall of Famer.
The fact that Bilstad is on track to be underbolded on the Bold-a-thon is just fascinating.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Kohler Services. Sticking with the bold theme, Tausch, you proposed an interesting scenario as we see how things have played out for the Brewers, with the Mets having had to play that doubleheader and then come back here because there was still business to be decided. You proposed via the Twitter that last division champion who has to host a wild card gets to choose their wild card opponent.
Correct.
How did that play out?
Yeah, and so I've thought about this a lot with the NFL when you're the 1 seed and you have that wild card weekend, right? So, like, you wouldn't get to pick the 2 seed because they also host a game, but you're down to it in the divisional round. If you feel like you match up better with a team, you should get to pick that team. That's how I've looked at it. And last night, the reason I thought about it is watching some of the Braves and Mets games yesterday. We just played the Mets, and maybe that's who we want, and that's how it would shake out, and you take them. But then Chris Sale can't pitch for the Braves, and he's their gun. So you work all season. The regular season's a slog. You work through it. You win the division. You should gain an advantage. I know you get all your home games and everything else, but yeah, I want that regular season to matter more. Plus, the drama of having your guys pick which team you're going to play, it's going to light a fire under the other team, obviously. Oh, they picked us. That's what they want. But wouldn't it be nice if you get that drama, you get that for Major League Baseball, which needs it, and the Milwaukee Brewers or whoever is in that situation can say, yeah, Atlanta's down. We want to pick them. That's who we want to come to Milwaukee. I don't think there should be anything crazy about it. And I'll tell you what, people on social media think I'm an idiot for bringing it up. I couldn't disagree more.
Tausch, here's the first 3 out of the gate, Erik. Responses to Tausch's post. Stick to football, even though your commentary on that is as terrible as well. Absolutely not.
That was a little bit hurtful.
Choosing who to play is an awful idea. Of course, all of these are anonymous people with no picture or actual name.
Of course not. But you could also argue you do that in baseball anyway. You intentionally walk a batter to face the next
Exactly.
batter.
Exactly. And last night, the Mets could have said, you know what, we want the Diamondbacks and we're going for broke. Well, of course, they needed to set their pitching and try to do as much as they can so that they can come up to Milwaukee and try and beat the Brewers. The way you look at this, I think sports is about entertainment, and it's about drama, and it's about drive, and it's about winning. And it does all of those things. It gives the Milwaukee Brewers, it would give that opportunity to say, all right, Atlanta just had to spend another starter. They are spent, and their best pitcher is not available to them, we don't think, in this 3-game set. So I just worked all season to win my division, to grind through. I should get some benefits from doing that where the wild card should be punished. That's what this does. It does it hits the trifecta of what you're looking for in sports. And I could appreciate in a campaign season, I'm campaigning for you two to support my cause.
Not bad. I don't know. I think they would have taken the Mets. Well, I don't know.
I think we'd have taken the Mets
Erik,
anyway.
That's not the boldness that I'm coming to expect from you.
All right, I'm on board, Tausch. I like anything that makes it a little bit more interesting. Like initially, as sort of a traditionalist, I was like, this whole thing with the extra innings, putting a guy on second, I don't know, it's messing with the fabric of the game. It's worked. Pitch clock.
Yep.
It's worked.
I'll say this.
Yeah, we don't need 18-inning extra inning games.
We don't need 162 games either. Let's cut off 20 games and start the season
I'm right there with that, too. We don't have to
always
do it how we always did.
Good luck. Hey, good luck with taking money out of people's pockets. Good luck with that one. But, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Thanks, Tausch. We'll talk tomorrow.
See ya.
This report is sponsored by Uline. Visit uline.com today.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
We've found that the high road is worth the climb, and it's less crowded. At Semperfi, everything we do is done to the best of our ability. There are no shortcuts. It's pretty simple. We do what we say we're going to do because we fully understand that a reputation is never given. It's always earned. It is in our nature to keep our values intact so that when we leave your job, you'll be right there to shake our hand with satisfaction. We've installed massive flat roofs and shingled huge churches, schools, and all kinds of homes from modest to extravagant, all with integrity and pride in our work. And we're going to keep doing it for generations to come. That's what Always Faithful means to us. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Let's see who the Brewers are playing today. It's the Mets.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Vientos K. Nimmo K. Alonso K.
Our coverage of Game 1 of the Wild Card Series starts today at 3:55. Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
8:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, October 1st, our top story. A second Super Tuesday in Wisconsin.
I'm Erik Bilstad. From the ports to the picket line.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got an accident on westbound 94 right in the stadium interchange. Left lane's blocked with that. It's got backups all the way back through the Marquette. On the eastbound side of 94, we got delays from about 84th Street through the stadium as well. Southbound 43, backed up from Bender Road down to Capitol. Southbound on 41, also seeing some delays from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Hampton, where there is a broken down vehicle on the Hampton off-ramp. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy, breezy, cooler today with a high of just 67 degrees, and chilly tonight. Inland low dipping down below 40. Lakeside be at about 47. Right now 65 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision, Wisconsin. Busy day ahead in the race for president in our state.
Former President Donald Trump is back in the state just days after his campaign stop in Prairie du Chien. He'll speak at Dane Manufacturing in Waunakee this afternoon around 1:30 before heading to Milwaukee for a speech at Discovery World starting at 5. Also in Milwaukee this evening is Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, who's expected to speak at 4:05 at an unknown location. It all leads to the first and potentially only VP debate on CBS tonight, pitting Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio against Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The debate is tonight. Vice president's candidates will vie in New York.
Talked to strategists in both of the campaigns. They're both targeting the same voter. Tim Walz comes from the upper Midwest. He's looking for that industrial worker, a union member who lives in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, in different parts of the country, to come out and give the Democrats a chance to show that the Democrats are advocates for working people. Senator Vance famously wrote the book Hillbilly Elegy. He wants to appeal to those same voters, working voters who are struggling, they feel economic pain.
CBS correspondent Robert Costa there. The mics will not be muted as they were in the presidential debate.
Searchers are still looking for hundreds of people missing after Hurricane Helene left devastation across several states. ABC's Faith Obube.
Hundreds still unaccounted for, like Julie LaRoe.
If anybody's seen her or knows anything, please let somebody know.
She and her fiance, John Norwood, sought shelter at a neighbor's house when Helene hit, but a mudslide took out the home.
We looked outside and there was a 30-foot tall wall of water and rocks and tree debris just coming at us, and it just knocked the house straight down with all of us in it, and we all got washed down river.
John's legs crushed by ceiling rafters. Rescuers using a pulley to bring him to safety over rushing floodwaters.
No contract, no work. No contract.
Dock workers at ports from Maine to Texas are walking the picket lines this morning in a strike over wages and automation that could reignite inflation and cause shortages of goods if it were to go on for more than a couple of weeks. The contract between the ports and about 45,000 members of the International Longshoremen's Association expired at midnight, even though progress was reported in talks on Monday. They are now on strike.
Heavy fighting underway right now in southern Lebanon. Israeli ground troops launched an invasion against Hezbollah. News Nation's Robert Sherman is in Haifa, Israel.
Even from here, you can hear the sound at moments of fighter jets overhead and the rumbling of war taking place not far from us here. What you have seen in northern Israel over the last year or so, ever since October 8th, you've had people who've been displaced from their homes, especially in some of these communities just north of us here. This is something that they've been seeing on a consistent basis.
Pentagon says the U.S. is sending a few thousand additional troops to the Middle East to beef up security and help Israel if necessary.
The postseason begins today for your Milwaukee Brewers against the Mets. The Crew enter the postseason, the youngest team in the playoffs.
But they aren't void of World Series experience, namely Willie Adames and Rhys Hoskins.
Rhys opened up to the team a little bit a few days ago and talked about the postseason and talked about what it was like. And I wouldn't be surprised if he shows out a little bit.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy.
Yeah, I can't say enough about what Willie means to our club. He's special. You know, taking on Churio and even Contreras to some extent and help them along in their adjustment to a new team and new bunch of guys.
From American Family Field, Greg Matzik, WTMJ Sports.
4:32 first pitch right here on WTMJ. On the hill for the Crew, Freddie Peralta.
Coming up, the tallest point on Earth is getting even taller? Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts?
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
No, listen. If they made our goalposts just a little wider, and why just yellow? It's Green Bay. Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, I get it. You can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want. From durable materials and fold-away hardware to custom colors and ease of maintenance, backed by quality craftsmanship, energy efficiency, and warranties that will last for years.
And this has got to be the Pella Dagger. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Hey, I've got a popcorn and soda.
Right here.
$22.50, please.
Too bad we can't customize concession prices.
That's it. You've got this, partner. I'm out of here.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 10/31/2024.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
Wisconsin Department of Justice investigating a death Monday, village of Caledonia, where Racine police had tried to stop a vehicle involved in a hit and run earlier in the day. Suspect took off and crashed into a tree, died on the scene. Law enforcement involved in the chase are on administrative leave, are cooperating with the investigation.
Public hearings coming to Milwaukee and Racine this week on proposed electricity rate hikes. We Energies looking for a roughly 9% increase for residential customers in 2025, followed by an 8.5% increase in 26. Now, if it's approved by the Wisconsin Public Service Commission, the typical monthly residential electric bill would rise about $25.
World's tallest mountain is getting taller.
Researchers from University College London say Mount Everest has grown by as much as 164 feet in the past 89,000 years, a blink of the eye in geological terms. They say a nearby river has eroded so much material from Everest that the mountain has become lighter, floating a little higher on the semi-liquid mantle beneath the Earth's crust. And they say it continues to grow about 0.8 of an inch per decade. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Coming up next, you're on Wisconsin's Morning News. We'll get you ready with the Brewers Buzz. Are you going to play that thing again?
We'll see. But what we do have is a nice look back at the season that was so far.
It's been a phenomenal year. So many highlights. So Erik put together a really nice piece with all those highlights in there. And also we'll hear from Brewers owner Mark Attanasio. I was in a small group of people that got about 45 minutes with the owner.
And he said some things.
He did say some things.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, you want to know about Willie Adames?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's coming up next.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Erik Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Erik can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Erik this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix-It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
Libby Collins here from my friends at Seniors Helping Seniors Waukesha, who know maintaining independence is one of the greatest concerns for seniors.
That's why for over a decade, they've been serving southeastern Wisconsin, offering personalized in-home care to fit each senior's unique needs. From help with daily tasks like bathing, meal prep, and transportation, to companionship and light housekeeping, caregivers make it possible for seniors to stay in the homes they love. Interested in becoming a caregiver? Contact Seniors Helping Seniors today.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever, overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Coming up on 8:12, what's happening on the drive, Deb?
Well, things are a bit backed up westbound on 94. Coming out of the Marquette interchange, we've just basically got a very heavy ride all the way out there to the stadium interchange where there is an accident and the left lane is blocked. On the eastbound side, we got some delays from 84th Street all the way through the stadium interchange as well to about 27th. Southbound 43 slowing from just before Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. A little bit of a backup on northbound 4394 coming around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 67 degrees today under partly cloudy skies. Tonight we'll get chilly. Lakeside low down to 47. Inland might dip below 40 degrees. And then sunshine and a high of 72 on Wednesday. Right now Milwaukee at 65.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
I understand Brewers fans are anxious for us to get out of the wild card round. Anxious for us to win a division series. Anxious for us to get back to the championship series and go to the World Series. But let that not tamper our enthusiasm about what today is. We're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Today.
It's fun.
We're hosting games at our house.
There's a buzz.
I asked for it.
There is a buzz, though.
Yeah,
you can't,
no doubt.
Can't deny it.
How those Brewers. So we're going to get into a few things today. Had an opportunity to speak with Brewers owner Mark Attanasio. It was a small group of us invited to American Family Field on Monday to have an audience with our team owner. And pretty open about a lot of different things, a lot of things asked of him. And so we'll get into a few of the things that stood out to me. You'll see him tonight, Attanasio, when he comes to games. He's not up in a box or whatever. He likes to sit close. He's usually just adjacent to the Brewers dugout, first few rows.
Does he still have that little TV down there, too?
Yeah, sometimes he watches. There's a monitor down there. So that's where you'll see him. And what's interesting is, Erik, as excited as he is to be in the playoffs and whatever, these games, and if you watch him closely, you can tell these games for Attanasio are excruciating.
From all of us anyway, if you watch a game with any of us, if we rarely watch together, and we do, there's complete silence because we're all processing our emotions internally. And but then you have relief when you win, and then if you win a series, that's when you have the euphoria for like a day.
For a day. And then it's on to the next series, right? Until you win the whole thing. So I just thought that was an interesting window into, we talk with Rick Schlesinger all the time here. He's Brewers on the business side of the Brewers. I've watched a game with Rick. Couple of them. Rick's not a fun guy during
It's tough.
Games.
Yeah, right.
It's just like everything that happens, he's weighing it, he's owning it. He's that's it. We're
can't enjoy it like you just I get it. We've all been there.
So we forget sometimes this is one of the greatest jobs in the world, but this is a job for a lot of those guys, and Attanasio is the owner. He knows there's pressure on him to win, to get to that next level, to get to the level after that. So keep an eye on him and just watch how he watches the games tonight. Also asked him about Craig Counsell. I mean, you think about, I was really hoping he would expand on it. He kind of didn't take the bait. Some of it was in jest. Some of it was I was hoping he'd say something pretty cool. But where we were at the end of last season, we get past the playoffs, and Attanasio said, Craig, he didn't say he dragged it out, but he said Craig took a long process in reaching a decision. So we finished the postseason. Right, they didn't want to talk about it until we were out of the season. Then there was the postseason, finished that, and then he took, a couple of weeks?
Until the contract was officially up.
Yes. And so there was that process there. And when Attanasio speaks of having lost Craig Counsell, consummate Brewer, hometown guy, as his manager, he still says losing Craig. When we lost Craig, XYZ happened. When we lost Craig to whatever. And so clearly there's still some hurt there. So I tried. You just mentioned losing Craig. I would invite you to please gloat a little bit about how this turned out for Chicago and for us.
I think my superstition does not permit me to gloat. Look, I'm mindful. I looked at some of our metrics this year. The league.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just. But the rest was about we had a really great season on the road.
Dang it.
Right, he went into a lot of program stuff about the success the team had. Didn't take the bait. Stayed classy. He did say, it's not in my makeup. Gloating is not in my makeup.
But David Stearns, he tore into, right?
Oh yeah, he said he can't stand David. Absolutely not. David Stearns now the general manager for the Mets who are in town. Of course, everybody glowing about the job manager Pat Murphy has done with this team as well. Matt Arnold is candidly told us before that when they first interviewed Murph for the job, he was the Brewers bench coach at the time.
Yep.
So when he first interviewed him for the job, it was a courtesy. Here's a guy, he's been with the team a long time. He'd like an interview. Yeah, we'll sit down. Sure.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity to interview for the job. But Attanasio revealed Monday that there were 2 internal candidates whom they interviewed initially. And then here's the rest of how Pat Murphy became the manager of this club.
We interviewed Murph and one other candidate, I think, internally. And Matt called me and he said, Murph had a really good interview. I'm like, great. And he said, well, we'd like to have a second interview with him. I'm like, great, right? So the process led to the decision. There was no preconceived notion. But from the beginning, the challenge you have, you see this in the corporate world. A lot of times the number 2 guy or person, often if it's a woman, that's a separate group of challenges with bias, but you don't think of them as a number 1, and so you look outside. And the media is always hyping the next great, visionary to be your number 1 person. And so I think Pat had to surmount that also. And then we talked about bias, there's an age bias, he's 65. And we just wanted the best person for the job, and he was.
Said when Matt Arnold finally said, this is our guy. What do you want to know? Is this cool? This is our guy. That Attanasio said, I had one conversation with Murph about that. I just said, do you want this job? We've picked you. You've earned the right. Do you want this job? And he said he did. And here we are.
I couldn't have picked a better guy.
Right. It's just so right. The vibe is right. Everything's right. A lot of folks asking me about Willy Adames. What did he say about Willy Adames? Because Willy Adames, great shortstop this year, had a great season, and he becomes a free agent at the end of this run. And are we going to be able to afford him? Is Attanasio going to pay him?
Will we pony up?
Right. Well, it doesn't sound like it.
He and Robin, probably the 2 greatest shortstops to play here. And always, a cherished part of our history. And among other things, appreciative of everything he's done here. So he's going to get an enormous free agent contract, and I'm very happy for him and his family. And we'll give it our best shot, but there's a lot deeper pockets out there, and that's just the reality.
That sounds like Willie's coming back next season. And in fairness to Attanasio, we're going to make a run at him.
Right.
He brought up CC Sabathia, and he said, about CC, he remembered that's what he was talking about there. He's like, yeah, we make what was for us a big offer at the time. Not only did the Yankees top it, but before we even came back, the Yankees topped their own offer. They outbid themselves. That's how this works with guys who have $300 million payrolls.
And the Players Union also weighs on you to take those bigger contracts. Even if CC wanted to come back to Milwaukee, sometimes the union's like, hey, you know what? You're helping elevate everybody if you take the heavier offer.
So I didn't want to get too much into what happens after this because I just want to be in this right now. But it's important to talk about that because a lot of folks are wondering about what the future of Willy Adames is with this club.
All right, so game one is this afternoon. You want to look back, a little montage?
I do.
Of some of the fun moments that we've heard on the radio?
Yes.
All right. Here it is, your 2024 Milwaukee Brewers.
From American Family Field here in Milwaukee on an overcast, rainy, cold afternoon for baseball. It's the Brewers against the Minnesota Twins in Game 1 of the championship home season. Bob Uecker. Good to have you back. I never left after last season. Thank you guys for unlocking the door.
Ground ball through the right side and into right field for a base hit. How about the first career hit for Jackson Churio? The 3-2 delivery. High drive, deep right field. Back goes Reynolds. Grand slam. Gone. A grand slam for Bryce Terang. In the air, left and deep. Get up, get out of here, gone. Reese Hoskins has just hit one with the bases loaded. It is back to the wall. Gone. Churio, a grand slam. Wall, grand slam. Fly ball to deep right. Are you kidding me? Another grand slam! Did he catch it or is it over the fence? There's been no signal. Now it comes. It's a grand slam! A grand slam!
Jackson Churio just hit one with the bases loaded.
Yelich trying to steal home. Here's the throw to the plate. He's safe!
Perkins on the run, going back to the track at the wall. He reaches up. Oh, Blake Perkins got another! Wow!
Fly ball center field. Perkins back. Still back. Leaping. Caught it! Oh, he timed it beautifully.
Perkins at the track. At the wall, he reaches up, and Blake Perkins got another! Blake Perkins with one of the catches of the year!
Back freely on the warning track. Leaping, and he caught it! It's over! Sal Frelick up and over the yellow line. He robs a homer, and the Brewers end up winning this ball game.
Live in stereo with my main man Jackson Churio.
With a soft liner into center and diving and not making the catches. Hillett gets behind him and Jackson's off to the races. He's around second. He is sprinting around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. Churio's in there safely. Jackson Churio, a trip around the bases.
Swinging and a rocket to right. Base hit. They win. And they're chasing Jake Bowers into center field. They finally caught him. And the celebration now.
Major League Baseball has been put on notice.
You've got to decide, make the choice that you're going to believe that there's a reason this group ended up first place, wire to wire.
Well, it's good right up until that point. All right, Debbie.
All right, westbound on 94, coming out of the Marquette's going to be a bit tight. We did have that earlier accident that was blocking the left lane at the stadium interchange. That's been cleared. However, they're still working on this broken down box drop-off on the right shoulder, so watch for that. On the eastbound side, we've got delays from before 84th Street all the way through to about 35th. Southbound 43, heavy from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. 41's just a bit tight right past Capitol Drive itself. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
In Milwaukee, it's baseball season, even in the fall.
And Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef for Tailgate Tuesday.
Throughout the Brewers' run in the playoffs, tune into Wisconsin's Afternoon News every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a $150 Vienna Beef gift card.
And a rocket to right, base hit, they win!
Nothing says Brewers playoffs like Vienna Beef.
We're the home of the Brewers.
We are the home of the Brewers.
WTMJ.
Go Brewers!
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Elmbrook Family Dental. I got my appointment for later this week, and I go to their brand new location in Wauwatosa. It's on Mayfair, just near Wisconsin Avenue there. They have 3 locations total. They got 2 convenience spots in Brookfield as well. And at Elmbrook Family Dental, they do it right. They got 11 providers, both male and female. They're basically a one-stop shop for any family that is welcome to be there, and they all are welcome. Implants to replace missing teeth. You can do TMJ therapy. You can get anything done, your teeth whitening, all at Elmbrook Family Dental. I'll make sure to report back on that brand new location in Wauwatosa. They got everything you need, state of the art. Elmbrook Family Dental. Here's the website, elmbrookfamilydental.com. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
No one wanted to hire me. They just saw my disability, but not me. I worked hard to get the education and the skills needed to thrive. I was ready to work. Then someone believed in me and said yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
8:28 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Get to the bottom of the hour news in a moment. Just reflecting on what Erik put together there, all the play-by-play highlights. We are absolutely blessed, additionally, outside of Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, some incredible voices who come into our radios, who come on to us on television. I mean, Brian Anderson, for the number of games that he does, that he continues to stick with the Brewers. He didn't need that job, that part of that job. Does a lot of stuff on the national scale. Bill Schroeder still in the booth with him, of course. And then Jeff Levering, who goes from radio into the TV booth so often. Lane Grindle's had a fantastic season. I saw Lane yesterday as well. I'm like, Lane, I just got to tell you, like, just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Listening to your calls. And of course, you know, Lane, well, there's been a lot to cheer about. Yeah, I know, but
no,
your calls have been fantastic.
Agreed.
Josh Mauer in there, and then of course Vinny Rotino and Tim Dillard in the support roles as well. Like pretty good lineup of guys.
Right.
And
then you got Sophia too.
Sophia on the TV side as well. I mean, if you've listened to her talk with some of these players of Latin America, how much they respect the fact that she speaks their language fluently and how much that matters in terms of the insights that she can share with all of us. Really good broadcast crew. Best in the game. So we are fortunate to have all those folks.
So there have been some questions about the roof. Open or closed today?
Yeah, high of 67 today. That's the high. And by, if you just look at your app or whatever, you look at temperatures in the low 60s by the end of the game this afternoon and into the evening. So roof open or closed?
So you did pose that to the manager. Here's the question and
Why
answer.
do you have to play that again? Roof open or closed? What's your preference this afternoon and into the evening?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
I didn't think he was up last night wondering about it. I just thought
a little bit more, but he did actually share some interesting detail. Listen to this.
I think 4:30
top
game.
of mind.
Yeah, 4:30 game. There's some pretty stiff shadows sometimes, but you just like it to be fair for everybody. And, sometimes the shadows play havoc, but you can't worry about it. It's playoff time. It's all bets are off. Just get it done.
Yeah, I mean, his point about the shadows is well taken. Late afternoon, you can have some weird, where the pitcher, I think, is in the shade, but the batter is in the sun.
Yeah, it's October, so the sun's moving.
Or is it vice
more,
versa? But either way, right. So not for nothing. We have been checking. Pancake's been checking the hotline for American Family Field. There's a number that you can call to find out, and it's still old.
Still from Sunday. Yeah.
Hey, don't buy it. Be careful because they say when the Brewers play the Mets, which happens Sunday. So they say the date, though, right? It's still
correct. Yeah, they still say Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't have an opener closed for you. If we get it before the top of the hour, we will share.
You know some people.
Do you want me to?
Yes.
You want me to bother people over that?
You could maybe make a text or two.
I guess I asked the manager on the air. Might as well. 8:31 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Vince Vitrano talking with Rick Burr from Lifetime Door in Brookfield. Rick, if you want a way to dramatically improve the look of your home, you can start with the garage door. So many options.
Yes, absolutely. Today, there's so many options on your door, whether it be the wood grains, the planks, the different colors, the glass, insulated, frosted. And when you do replace your door after you've had a door, you get the best return on your investment. It's about 150% you'll get back when you sell your house from the purchase of your garage door and openers.
Rick, Lifetime Door is the #1 retailer of Haas garage doors made right here in the USA. Why do you love the Haas door?
Yeah, Haas Door is made in the USA. It's a family-owned company. A lot of these door manufacturers are owned by big corporations. Haas is family-owned. The owner of the company literally used to drive the truck and deliver our truckload that we get every week.
Yeah, these doors are strong, they're high quality, and they're beautiful. Talking with Rick Burr from Lifetime Door in Brookfield. Rick, let me ask you about garage door openers. I was just in the showroom the other day. These new openers are quiet.
Yes, the openers are super quiet now. Everything's going towards the DC motor. More importantly, you want something that works. And when you go to push the button, you want it to open. You want a good quality. You don't want to be counting on something that's 30 years old.
Right. I know you're super proud of your install team at Lifetime Door. No subcontractors. These guys are all part of your family.
Yes, we have 30 installers right now at Lifetime, and all of our guys work for us. They come in every day. They work year-round. A lot of people think we don't work in the winter, but we do. Short of typhoon, hurricane, stuff like that, we're going to be out there to do your door. Half of my guys have over 20 years of experience, and we got a good mix of younger guys that have been there from anywhere from 3 to 5 years. So we got the knowledge of the youth and of the old coming together, and we learn from each other. We're always learning, whether it be the old guys or the new guys.
All reasons my family is working with Lifetime Door Company. Visit the showroom in Brookfield or check them out online at lifetimedoor.net.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Several locations, several choices. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the road. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
8:33, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, October 1st. Our top story, former President Trump heading to Wisconsin ahead of the VP debate tonight.
I'm Erik Bilstad. The drop box is back.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, westbound 94, right about at 25th Street. We got an accident off on the right shoulder and a little bit of a backup through the stadium interchange with a broken down box truck off on the right shoulder. So careful with that. Eastbound is going to be backed up from about 92nd Street through the stadium interchange. And then along southbound 43, heavy from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 67 degrees today. Skies partly cloudy and chilly tonight. Lakeside low will dip down to 47, could dip below 40 degrees if you're away from Lake Michigan tonight. Right now, 61 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision, Wisconsin, busy day ahead in the race for president, particularly in the Badger State. Former President Trump has 2 stops today, just days after his campaign stop in Prairie du Chien. He's going to be in the Madison area this afternoon, and then has a speech at Discovery World here in Milwaukee at 5 p.m. Also in Milwaukee this evening, the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff. He's got an event around 4 o'clock with the location having not yet been announced.
The absentee ballot drop box is back in Wausau. The city's lone drop box now secured to the ground outside City Hall, according to the guidelines set by the Wisconsin Elections Commission. The issue with the drop box began last month when Wausau Mayor Doug Denny removed the box, claiming it was unsecured and that it should be up to City Council to decide whether it should be used. The Wausau clerk has referred the incident to the Wisconsin Elections Commission and the Marathon County DA.
An air of skepticism at the first of this week's Milwaukee Public Schools town hall meetings concerning the district's recently released long-range facilities plan. It could include the closure of some school buildings. Alderwoman Charlene Moore telling TMJ4 News overall, the first presentation by the district was a, quote, failure.
We know that there's some things that need to happen, but the administration first needs to share with us where things are financially.
The facilities plan also includes options for schools such as mergers and building additions. It does not list which schools are being considered for closure.
Dock workers from New England to Texas are on strike, causing the first work stoppage at East and Gulf Coast ports since 1977. It's the International Longshoremen's Association and the United States Maritime Alliance. It's a shipping industry group. They were not able to come to an agreement. The White House is declining to intervene at this point, saying it's important to respect collective bargaining rights.
Road to the World Series begins today for your Milwaukee Brewers. We've got the Mets in a best-of-3 wild-card series.
From Game 1 to 162 of the regular season, Pat Murphy's Brewers have been unfazed by a lack of experience.
We didn't have a player that underachieved, and they understand the way they got here. They did it by pulling together and playing a certain way.
The youngest team in the postseason, the Brewers turned to their most experienced pitcher, Freddie Peralta, for the start in Game 1.
I think experience can help you. And that's the way to answer it. Experience can help you.
From American Family Field, Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Coverage here on WTMJ of today's game begins at 3:55 and confirmed. I did check in with the Brewers, and a source who would know confirms that the roof will be closed for today's game this afternoon.
The roof will be closed. Time now for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Just getting underway on Wall Street. The Dow is down 282, the NASDAQ down 117, and the S&P is starting the day down 34 at the moment. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
Coming up, making it less of a pain to get your vehicle emissions testing done. That story next.
When Senator Tammy Baldwin first went to Washington, the big news story was Y2K. And we were partying like it was 1999. Baldwin has been in D.C. for more than 25 years. And after a quarter-century, her values are a lot more Washington than Wisconsin. Baldwin supported providing puberty blockers and sex change surgeries to minor children in Wisconsin. And Baldwin supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters in Wisconsin to admit biological men who claim to identify as women, even though domestic violence survivors say it would be traumatic to be forced to sleep in the same shelters as men. Tammy Baldwin, 25 years in Washington, has changed her, and now she's just too extreme for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
.39 on Wisconsin's Morning News. You're taking your vehicle in for emissions testing. I'm always surprised to have one in our fleet of cars, a relatively newer vehicle. Like, shouldn't you go like a few years until you have to do that?
Wait, so you have multiple?
If it's just off, like I understand why my 2012 Accord needs to go in for emissions testing all the time. Right?
Oh,
it's an
I
old
see what
car,
you're saying.
Right?
Okay.
Some of these newer cars, you're driving off the lot and you're like, bing, you need an emissions test. Really? Already? I've driven it for 5 minutes.
Isn't it like every other year? Something like that, I think.
I feel like it should, but I feel like I've been every year for a while. I don't know. Either way, it used to be not that big a deal. You had to go down to one of these DMV sites, right? And then you drove in, but it was a DMV site.
And they'd hook up that thing.
Yep, they'd hook the thing up, bing, 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 you're done, you're out. You renew your tags right there, and it's done. And in an effort to make it easier and probably less expensive for the state, they opened it up years ago and just said, we're getting rid of these DMV sites, and you just take it to your mechanic or to, if your oil change place does it, your Quickie Lube, whatever, and they can do it there. And then the state kicks them a little something for each test that they perform, and then you're supposed to be in and out. Well, it became just, I don't know if it was a drag, an inconvenience, or just that these mechanics just thought it's better to have our people working on cars than, or at least more lucrative.
Yeah, it does them no good to waste all their time doing
with
that.
all these people here
Right.
lined up for, what results in them is just a matter of dollars per test.
And sometimes you, the driver, end up becoming like a low priority. You're waiting in line longer because they're going to deal with the other people first.
So I feel like it didn't work out great, and fewer mechanics were offering the service. So then it was hard to find a place.
Right, yeah.
Or you'd go to a place, it was still up on a website somewhere. The place you went last time, that happened to me. Go back, I'm like, yeah, and I also need an emissions test. We don't do that anymore. Like, what happened? Right, so now you've wasted the time going out there. Reason I'm bringing this up is there is a new plan from the Wisconsin Vehicle Inspection Program, self-service emissions testing kiosks.
Okay.
So it's very limited right now. From a news release this week, we learned there's one on the north side, 87th and Brown Deer in Milwaukee, one on the south side, 27th and Ryan in Oak Creek. I don't really have a description of how it works. It's got to be user-friendly, right? Because I barely know how to put my washer fluid in. So,
but even usually the automatic checkout places like at the grocery store or at Home Depot has a person standing there.
Yes. You would think someone would be there to help you.
But who is that person?
I don't know.
Who's paying
Additionally,
for that person?
I think more importantly, you've got some 200 facilities that are opening across southeast Wisconsin that will be emissions-only testing locations. So kind of like what we had before to a degree, where you come in, someone will help you with that, you test your vehicle, but that's all they do. And those are opening as well. And this is for if you've got a 2007 or newer vehicle, you can use these sites. So definitely a step in the right direction if it all works out, if people are able to figure it out. I would try the self-service thing one time just to see if it works.
Hopefully it's not too long of a line.
There is that. Easiest way to tell you how you find it would be to, I guess if you got to Google it or just go to the DMV site, but you Google Wisconsin Department of Motor Vehicles, and then within that site, you get to the vehicle emissions testing.
Right.
And then on there, they have another link that takes you to all of these locations for these testing sites, including the self-serve kiosks. 8:43 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie, what's happening?
Well, we still have some delays out there westbound on 94 from about 25th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. We did have an earlier accident around 25th Street. That's been cleared out. The eastbound side's a bit backed up from about 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to about 35th. Southbound 43 is the other heavy spot. It's going to be slow from just south of Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. Rest of the system looks pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake. Are you sure you're getting the most out of Social Security benefits? At Drake & Associates, we know that maximizing your Social Security is critical for a secure retirement. With the right strategy, you can potentially increase your lifetime benefits and secure a better future. But navigating the rules and timing can be complex. Don't leave your benefits to chance. Text SS to 414-409-9982 today to schedule a complimentary consultation and receive a free retirement ready toolkit. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Drake & Associates. Plan smart, retire happy.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Did it happen to you this morning when you got up where you're like, oh, my back, what? Oh, come on. It's firing up again. It's barking again. It happens to me a lot when I wake up with my shoulder, just like, oh. And you've tried steroids perhaps or some kind of painkillers, and they don't really do much. They don't last very long, and you don't want to keep putting Band-Aids on the pain, if you will. There are ways to get real lasting relief. Thousands of patients will tell you that it's possible with the help from QC Kinetics. People right here in Milwaukee are reducing the inflammation, getting mobility back, and most importantly, they're getting their lives back thanks to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in cellular therapies using your own body's healing properties, concentrated and carefully placed in your aching joint. Here's what you do. We have two clinics here in Southeast Wisconsin. There's one in Greenfield, another in Location. Local doctors, local medical teams that can help you figure out your pain. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. Here's the number from QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. Call for your free consultation, 414-285-3474, QC Kinetics.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
When that crisp fall air greets you in the morning, it's time to assess your garden. Now's the perfect time to think about it. WTMJ's John Mercure here for Landworks Wisconsin. They make sure my garden and yard is in perfect shape. They'll do the same for you. Imagine this. Spring flowering bulbs get planted in October and November and then burst into bright daffodils and tulips, brightening up your muddy spring after a long, dark winter. Landworks Wisconsin, they'll do it for you. Give your future self some spring flowers. Let Landworks Wisconsin take care of you like they take care of me. LandworksWisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Tonight is the night everyone's been waiting for.
Brewers?
All eyes. No, of course not. Come on, I'm talking about the debate. The VP debate is tonight. Governor Tim Walz versus Senator J.D. Vance. To the one and only vice presidential debate is tonight.
The two candidates will face off in a studio on the west side of Manhattan that was once home to Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, okay. All right, so we learned that today. But this isn't Mr. Penny Whistle debating Mr. Green Jeans or Mr. Moose going up against the town clown.
I come here today to ask you to vote for me, Mr. Moose.
No, not Mr. Moose. This is J.D. Vance, a first-term senator, an author, and Yale-educated lawyer, and Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, a six-term congressional member, and a former high school football coach.
I'd rather hear from the Moose again.
So, like the presidential debates, there'll be no there'll be no audience in the studio. But unlike the last debate, the mics will always be hot, which means you can cut in if you want. And that often happens, and sometimes there's a lot of over-talking on everybody. So they do have the muted potential, like the network will mute if they need to. CBS is running this one tonight. So what about fact-checking? CBS says, we will not fact-check. CBS says it's on the two candidates to fact-check themselves. I would say that could go one or two ways. You'll have both candidates just kind of freewheeling it, or you'll both have both candidates ready with a reaction on someone else who may say something that may not entirely.
Sure, that's why you debate prep. I know Erik's going to bring this up, so I'm ready for when Erik brings this up. This will be my response and suggestion there. I'm fine with that only because fact-checking is dubious. And it can be one-sided because you don't always know what's going to be said. And if you're going to be the fact-checker, you have to be right. And so if you heard something in the debate, if you're listening tonight and you hear something, you're like, wonder if that's true. You would go in, you would Google, you would research, but it would take more than a second, and that's not something that you would expect them to have recall on right away.
So the CBS News team is confirming it will provide real-time fact-checking during the debate on its live blog and on social media and on the air during the post-debate. And I'm sure other networks are going to be doing that. as well. You're not wrong. It's just frustrating to me. Like in a perfect world, you have a moderator or moderators who, and this is really hard. Like there's no.
They'd have to be omniscient. They
It would
have
be
to know
really
everything.
difficult, right? To be able to go boom. Yeah, no, actually, you know what, sir? I'm sorry, Mr. Senator or Mr. Governor. Like that's not like that would be great, but it's virtually impossible to be able to do that, unfortunately.
And then you get the claims of unfairness, and
Right.
then why are we doing this?
So, will this debate actually matter? How many VP debates do you recall, if any? Well, so what do you think, Mary Bruce from ABC?
I think if someone is truly disastrous, it could matter.
Okay, so define disastrous.
I mean, these are long-standing seasoned politicians. I don't think one of these guys is going to fall apart. But if someone says something truly offensive, truly outlandish, truly memorable, I think that could make a difference.
We will be in Brewers baseball coverage, so we will not be airing the debate here on WTMJ, but you can hear it on 101.7 The Truth. It starts at 8 o'clock. Meanwhile, hours before the debate, former President Donald Trump will be in Milwaukee. Former president expected to speak at Discovery World around 5 this afternoon. So heads up if you work downtown. Not only do you have the game starting at 4:32, and everyone knows what happens when there's a day game. You're trying to get home, or there's always a little bit of tightness there during the week at AmFam. So you have that at 4:32, and then you have this at 5. There's going to be some road closures in and around the area at times.
Do we have an indication from Discovery World as to whether this is, I thought maybe their outdoor venue?
I was trying to get my arms around.
Otherwise, that ballroom upstairs is not that big, and that, what do they call it, the pilot house or something like that?
Well, then you suggested maybe in the aquarium area.
Like not for real.
He's petting one of the little.
Here, look.
One of the swimming
shark.
animals.
I don't much care for the sharks, but they like me tremendously.
So that's at 5. He's going to be in Wanakee earlier than that. So he's going into the Lions Den, if you will, today. Doug Emhoff, the second gentleman, also in Milwaukee today. So that's all happening, of course, at the same time that the Brewers are kicking off their playoff run. So the debate tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have all kinds of analysis. We'll take care of all that here. So you'll get everything you could possibly need.
If you elect me as President of the United States, every American will have antlers.
Mr. Moose.
Even the uncles of the whole United States.
Mr. Moose.
Think. We'll all live in the forest.
Mr. Moose.
And all of our friends will be bunny rabbits.
Mr. Moose.
One more time before 9 o'clock, Debbie.
All right. Westbound 94 has some backups from just before 27th Street all the way through to the Stadium Interchange. Actually, make it all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's going to be backed up from the 84th Street area through the stadium as well. A little bit heavy on southbound 43 just before Hampton down to Capitol Drive. Other than that, we're actually looking pretty good around the rest of the system right now. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The playoffs are here for your Milwaukee Brewers, and we're not done yet.
Two-run home run, William Contreras. Willie Adames. Jackson Churio.
The Brewers take on the Mets in the Wild Card Series. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage of Game 1 starts today at 3:55. The hunt for Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental. The playoffs go through us on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Last guy you had out at the house said, you need a new furnace or a new air conditioner. And you don't like how that sounded? Vince Vitrano for your comfort guys. Absolute Comfort, HVAC, and electrical. Been telling you about the great service that I've had with Nicole and Brent, family-owned Absolute Comfort. These are good people. Talking with Brent the other day, he was telling me, oftentimes when he's in someone's house, they'll say, well, what would you do? And this is where trust is so important. If you trust me, believe me when I say I trust Brent and his son Drew, wife Nicole, to treat me like their family. And tell me, oftentimes Brent says the answer is going to be from the heart, not from a guy trying to sell you the most expensive fix or a new unit. If he can fix it, Brent's going to fix it. If he says it's shot, you're getting an honest assessment. If you need something new, you're going to get the best price on your parts service or a whole new HVAC unit. Absolute Comfort, HVAC, and electrical. Tell them Vinny sent you. 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
When you need to sell quickly, choose Grandview to buy your home, even if it's less than perfect. Don't waste time and money on finding a real estate agent and dealing with showings. We'll buy your home completely as is. No repairs, not even a clean out. Grandview Homes gives you an offer in hours, and we close on the day you choose in as little as 10 days with no closing costs. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Restaurant prices are soaring, but not at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. One of my favorite places. It's so fun. It's such great value. Family owned for almost 50 years. My daughters love this place. Been going since they were little girls. It's super affordable and so much fun. Every Tuesday, the authentic Mexican buffet is all you can eat in just $9.99. It's the best Tuesday dining value, $9.99. Kids 5 and under eat free today from the kids menu, and then they can safely play in that world-class game room quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your dinner. Stop after school. It's great fun. The Wednesday 3-piece dine-in fish fry is $4.99. Whoa! That's crazy value. From 2 till 5 today, beers, cocktails, and appetizers are half price. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and just off Highway 41 in Oshkosh near the EAA. Walk in today for the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
Our team of fiduciary advisors are here to help you retire well with our streamlined retirement process. Give us a call today at 262-522-4040 or visit us at thekowalway.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ forecast is sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Right back to fall in a hurry. Today's high just 67 degrees. Low temperatures tonight, dipping below 40 degrees if you're away from Lake Michigan. Sunshine and mid-70s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday's high just 68 with a chance of a morning shower. Roof will be closed today. The Brewers have confirmed to us here at WTMJ. Roof will be closed for today's playoff game, 4:32 first pitch at American Family Field. And a lot of great stuff on the podcast page. You can text Vince to 855-616-1620. We'll send you a link to the Wisconsin Morning News podcast page, or check us out online. Check out the YouTube channel as well. But we had a really nice interview with Callie Herbst from Milwaukee with Kids. She talked to now Mrs. Antetokounmpo. Giannis got married in the offseason, so she shared some tea.
That's a great combo, too. There's some good stuff in there.
Shared a little bit about the proposal and the wedding.
And how that went.
And then their Milwaukee diaper mission as well. So that's up there in the 6 o'clock hour. Tausch was fantastic today with his ridiculous idea that now he's forced us to support.
That the Brewers should have chosen. That should have been part of the deal.
Yes, that the division champion, that's the 3 seed, gets to choose their opponent in the playoffs. All of that up again. Vince, text Vince to 855-616-1620. Go Brewers!
These are your business headlines.